Okay, let's go. This video, I'm doing the MRSM trial paper for Addmaths in 2022. So let's not waste any time and let's start. Okay, number one, diagram one shows a part of a curve. So this is a curve. So the variable x and y are related by this equation. Okay, first of all, we need to look at the y-axis and the x-axis because this is a linear law question. And in linear law question, you should always look at the axis. So if you look at the y-axis, it says y and it says x. It means this negative 11 is the x value and this 4 is the y value. Same with this. This is x, this is y. But what if the y-axis is log y? For example, let's say it's log y. Then this will be log y. All right, the y coordinate will be log y. So you should always look at the axis. And you should take note of this curve. This is a curve. It's not a straight line. It's not a straight line. So if they say, if this is a curve, means the equation of this curve is not in linear form lah. Okay. Tapi let's read A what they want. Find the value of P and Q. Okay. And then B says sketch the linear graph. So we all know linear means straight line. So sketch a straight line graph of y squared against x. Can you see the y-axis change to y squared and the x-axis still x-axis? So let's do A first. A, they want you to find the value of P and Q, right? So it's quite easy because they give us the equation already. Y squared equals to P over 2x plus Q. I don't think I have to change this to linear form. The reason is because the curve is not, because the diagram now is not a straight line. It's not a straight line graph, it's a curve. So I don't think I need to change to linear form to guarantee these 2 points. I can guarantee straight away. So we don't have to worry about the axis actually. We just guarantee the negative 11 inside x and guarantee y equals 4. I think that's all. Because the other passes through. So let's guarantee y is 4. So it'll be 4 squared, which is 16, right? Equals to p over x. Oh, sorry, p over 2x. Okay, I made a mistake here. So it's actually p over 2x plus q. So it will be p over 2 bracket, the x is negative 11 plus q. So now we can simplify further by taking the negative 11 times with p. So you get negative 11 over 2p plus q, right? And how can I simplify this? We can hilangkan fraction. Just take everything times 2. So times 2 is 32. Times 2 is negative 11p. Times 2 is 2q. And here I get my first equation. And now I will repeat the same steps, but this time I will use the other point. Okay, I can also guarantee this point also, right? Because got passes through. So the y is 2. So what happens when I guarantee 2 inside here? It will be 2 squared, which is 4, equals to p over 2x plus q. And for the x, I will guarantee negative 5. And now what I will do is I will take everything times 2 because I want to hilangkan the fraction. 2 times 4 is 8. Times 2 will be negative 5p because when you take this ketol times 2, the 2 and 2 can cut. And then q times 2 is just 2q. And this is my equation 2. And now I can take equation 1 and equation 2 and do simultaneous. But if I am you, I will do elimination method because I saw that this is 2q, this is also 2q. So why not we just take equation 2 and equation 1 and then I do elimination. I will minus them. Okay, why minus? Okay, first of all, let's write it down. So 8 equals negative 5p plus 2q. Equation 1 is 32 equals to negative 11p plus 2q. You can see the 2q and the 2q, the number is already the same, the value, or you can say the coefficient is same. And look at the sign here. The thunder here is summer, right? So if the thunder summer, you minus. Okay, but if the thunder is different, then you plus. Okay, so what happens when you take 2q minus 2q? Is 0. Okay, of course you want to take equation 1 minus equation 2 also can, you get the same, but I take equation 2 minus equation 1. So what's 8 minus 32? It will be negative something. Let's press 8 minus 32. Okay, let me press negative 24. Okay, hope you get the same. Negative 5 minus 11 is negative 5 plus 11, which is 6p. So you end up with p negative 4. And of course you will, after you know your p, you should substitute inside the any of this equation to get q. So p is negative 4 plus 2q. So let's get my q now. We know negative 11 times negative 4 is positive 44. But when you move that, it becomes minus 44. What is 32 minus 44? Let's press negative 12. So I will get my q is negative 6. So that's my answer. All right. So I will write p. So dot p equals to negative 4. Q equals to negative q equals to negative 6. All right, negative 6. Okay, so that's how you do the question A. Okay, what about question B? All right, I need some space for question B, because B, they ask us to sketch, right? Sketch the linear graph of y squared against x. If it's a sketching question, you don't have to do it in the graph paper, okay? If they ask you to draw, then only you will use graph paper. For sketch, you just sketch roughly only. So sketch the linear graph of y squared against x. So we need to know that the equation is y squared equals to p over 2x plus q. But this time I need to change it to linear form, because they ask us to sketch a linear graph, means it's a straight line. And this time the y-axis is y squared, the x-axis is x. So I have to change to linear form. But if you look closely to the equation, it's already in linear form. Because look carefully, the y equation sudah sama dengan y-axis. And also mx plus c is also susun nicely already. So I can straight away write y equals to mx plus c. Means my y-axis is y squared, my x-axis is x, and my gradient will be p over 2, and my y-intercept will be q. But of course, I need to get my gradient and y-intercept, or else I can't sketch. So let's get the gradient and y-intercept. So, okay, we all know p is -4, right? So what's -4 divided to -2x plus q? What's q just now? -6, is it? So like that, right? So now I have my full equation. I think I can sketch now. So when we sketch graph, we need to have some points, right? So I will draw a table, and then we need to have some points. So my x-axis will be x, my y-axis will be y squared. And what I will do is I will ganti x equals 0 and y equals 0. Okay, actually you can ganti any point you want, but I always prefer this x0, y0 point. And what happens when you ganti x0, your y squared will be -6. And what happens when you ganti y squared 0? So the whole thing will be 0 equals to -2x minus 6. Pindah this become 2x equals -6, x equals -3. So this is -3. And of course, this one, you don't have to show them, also can. So I will erase this. And now I can start to draw my graph. So this is my y-axis, this is my x-axis. I already know both point is negative. So that's why everything is happened in this quadrant. So I will just I won't even bother how to say putting space here. So it will be 0, 0, -6. So it's somewhere here, maybe 0, -6. So that's my first point. -3, 0, just roughly here. And now I will draw the straight line. Okay, so it will pass us through these 2 points. Okay, just adjust it a little bit. Of course, you will use ruler to draw it, okay? And then that's the answer. Okay, that's the answer. You can also write the equation here, y squared equals to -2x minus 6. All right, that's how you sketch. Okay, let's continue with the next question. Let's go to question 2. This is obviously a quadratic question. When you see alpha, beta, roots, these are all, okay, you should know that it's a quadratic from chapter 2. Let's read. It is given that 2 alpha and 2 beta are the roots. The moment you see the word roots, but they never mention 2 different roots or 2 equal roots or no roots, you should think about solve method. You will be using the solve method. So let's read first. 2 alpha and 2 beta are roots of this equation. And then A, they ask you to find value of m if alpha plus beta equals to -2. So I'm sure this information will be useful later on, right? Okay, but let's write down the information first. X squared plus mx minus 3 equals 0. You should notice something here. It's already in general form. Do you agree? The A is 1, the B is m, the C is -3. Because if it's not in general form, you can't do the solve method. You need to know your A, B, C clearly before doing solve method. And this is already in general form. So I can proceed with writing down the roots. The x1 is 2 alpha, because the roots, right? That's the roots. And x2 equals to 2 beta. And what is the formula for solve? Solve formula is x1 plus x2 equals to -b over a. And for POR, product of root, x1 times x2 equals to c over a. So what will happen now is I will apply the solve method inside this equation. So what is the solve? X1 plus x2 equals -b over a. So 2 alpha plus 2 beta equals to -b over a. And what is my b here? My b is m and my a is 1. So over 1. But over 1 is like, don't have to write that because over 1 is useless, right? So I won't write the -1. So you just left with 2 alpha plus 2 beta equals to -m. But do you remember that the alpha plus beta equals to -2? It's given here. So what I can do here is I can factorize out the 2. And the reason I factorize out the 2 is so that I can ganti this whole thing with -2 equals to -m. So -m equals to -4. m equals to 4. So I already finished question A. I already get 2 marks. Okay. Then what about the product of root? Actually, you don't have to do already lah, but I will do it also. Okay, I'll do it also because I have a feeling that it will help me do question B later. Even though I haven't do B yet, but because SOR and POR, they are like kawan baik, you know. So even though they ask for a value of m, right? So I don't need to do POR already for question A, but I will still do it. Okay, I'll still do it. If it ends up being useless, then it's fine. It's fine. You just leave it there. Okay, there's nothing wrong with writing it. So let's do POR x1 times x2 equals COA, 2 alpha times 2 beta equals to COA, and we all know the C of this equation is -3, and the A is 1, so divide 1 by 2. 2 times 2 is 4, so 4 alpha beta is -3. I will get alpha beta equals to -3/4. But just like what I said earlier, you don't need this for question A. Question A punya working sudah stop dekat sini already. This is the answer already. Okay, but I'll still write it. Okay, let's look at B now. B, they say form a equation. The moment you see the word form equation, you should immediately think about this formula: x squared minus SOR x plus POR equals 0. But you cannot use the SOR and POR earlier because this time, this equation, the equation you are forming have another roots. They have another pair of roots, which is alpha and beta. The SOR POR you do just now, the roots is 2 alpha, 2 beta. It's not even the same equation you're talking about. It's the new equation, it's another equation. So this time, you will let x1 equals to alpha, x2 equals to beta. And this time, you don't even have the equation. You have to form the equation. Because if you have the equation already, then you already finished already. So you don't have. So you will do the SOR POR one more time, right? But this time, it's very different with just now because just now you have the equation. This time, you don't even have the equation at all. You don't even know your A, your B, your C. You don't know anything. So what you will do is use this formula: x1 plus x2 equals negative BOA. So alpha is your x1 plus with beta equals to negative BOA. But the problem here is I don't even have the B and the A. Okay, I don't have, because I'm trying to find the B and A. Because if I have the B and A, then I don't have to worry about forming the equation already. Because if I know the A and B of this equation, if I know the A, B, and C of the equation, I don't even have to do all this already. So the problem is I don't have. Okay, then how? Okay, it's fine. Because even if you don't have, we all know alpha plus beta is equals to what? Do you remember it says it's equals to -2? All right. It means if I don't have the A and B equation, I can just not write it. Okay, I can just not write it. So alpha plus beta, we actually know is -2. What about product of root? It will be alpha times beta, right? But same like just now, you don't have to write the C over A because you don't know the C and A. So if you don't know, it's fine. You're trying to find, right? So you just put the equal in front like this. And what's alpha beta? You look at here. So alpha beta is what? -3/4. So that's what you put inside here like this. Okay. Can you see that this thing ends up being useful, even though it doesn't help me do A, right? But yeah, I told you already, like there's a chance that you might use it on B, right? Even if it ends up not using it, it's still okay, tak salah to write it like this. Okay, let's continue. After I get my SOR and POR, now I can finally put inside this formula. X squared minus SOR x plus POR equals 0. So x squared minus SOR, and the SOR is -2, right? So what is minus -2? So it will be plus 2x. Just remember, the SOR always have to tukar tanda before you put inside the B. But the POR, you no need tukar tanda, just masuk saja, equals to 0. Please don't stop your answer here, because you can further simplify further. How to simplify? You can hilangkan fraction by taking everything times 4. So 4x squared plus 8x minus 3 equals 0. This should be your final answer. All right. So that's how you do this question. Okay. I want to check with the schema. M equals to 4. Okay. Yes, correct. All right. So let's go to question number 3. So this is which chapter? Looks like a function, right? It looks like a Form 4 chapter 1 question. Let's read. Diagram 2 shows the graph y equals fx and x equals gy. So we can see y equals fx and it looks like this. It's a straight line. And the other one looks like a curve, but it's not a quadratic curve, you know, because quadratic curve is U shape or N shape, right? But this one is more like a, how to say? It's like the quadratic curve, but it's already like terbalik sikit, right? Okay, it's okay. Let's read. A says what? Determine which graph represents a function and state your reason. Okay, let's talk about type of relation. Okay, let's talk about type of relation because it's important for you to understand this. So we have how many type of relation? We have 4 type. Okay, we have 4 type. We have one-to-one. Okay, I'll just write short form. We have many-to-one. We have one-to-many, and we have many-to-many. But you need to know something. Out of these four type of relation, not all relation is considered function. Only one-to-one and many-to-one is considered function, because the definition of function is every object has one image. That's the definition of function. So if it's one-to-one, then yes, it's a function. If it's many-to-one also, yes, but one-to-many is not a function, because if it's one-to-many, one object has more than one image. It means like one object maybe have two images or three images. That's why it's not a function. And same with many-to-many is also not a function. So only these two types is considered function. And one more thing you need to know is only the one-to-one relation has inverse. Only one-to-one has inverse. Out of these four, only one-to-one has inverse. Okay. And there's actually two types of tests you can do here. The first type of test is called horizontal line test. So horizontal line test is for you to test whether this function has inverse or not. If you draw a horizontal line and the horizontal line cross at one intersection point, then it has inverse. It means it's a one-to-one relation and it has inverse. Okay. But what about the vertical line test? So the vertical line test is to test whether it's a function or not. So I repeat again, horizontal line test is to test whether it has inverse or not. And then the vertical line test is to test whether it has it is a function or not. So if I draw a vertical line like this, and then if the vertical line only intersect the curve at one point, it means it passed the test. It means it's a function. But if it's crossed, like if it crossed 2 points or more than 2 points, it means it's not a function. It's not a one-to-one, it's not a many-to-one, it's either this or this. Okay. It means it's telling us that it's not a function. That's what it means. So let's erase this, and go back to the soalan. Determine which graph represents a function and state your reason. So if it's a function, it has to be one-to-one or many-to-one. Okay. And let me tell you, a one-to-one graph looks like this. It looks like this, a straight line. Okay. It can be like this also. Okay. That's how a one-to-one graph looks like. And then many-to-one, the graph looks like a quadratic curve. It looks like a quadratic curve. And when I say quadratic curve, it's either like this or like this. That's a many-to-one. All right. And if you look carefully at these two graphs, obviously the answer is this one, the straight line. So which graph represents a function? The answer is the fx graph. Okay. But they say give you a reason, right? Because this is a one-to-one relation, right? So because this graph shows a one-to-one relation. Okay, one-to-one relation. But of course you can use another method to determine which one is function. Let me explain. So this one is the answer, right? But why is this not the answer? It's because this is not a one-to-one and it's also not a many-to-one. How I know? Because I already half-filed the shape. Many-to-one graph, it looks like a quadratic curve. Yes, I know this is a quadratic curve, but look at this. This is not a U shape and shape. It's like a C shape. It's already like the balik already. So this is actually a one-to-many curve. That is why it's not a function, because it's a one-to-many, and one-to-many is not considered function. But of course, you can also use the vertical line test I mentioned earlier, right? Remember, horizontal line test is to determine whether it has inverse. Vertical line is to determine whether it's a function. So what you do is you will draw a vertical line, you will draw a vertical line. You can see clearly this vertical line will cross at 1 point. This vertical line cross at 2 points. It means that this is a function. But this is not a function because it intersects 2 points. All right. So if you don't want to write because the graph shows one-to-one relation, you can also write what? Because the graph only passes through, only intersects 1 point during the vertical line test. You can also include that in your reason, you know. So that's also one of the method to do it lah. Okay, so that's also one of the reason. So hopefully you understand what I mentioned just now lah. Okay, let's go to question B. Now they say hence state the domain, the range, the function notation of that function. So we can all assume that they want you to state the domain, range, and function notation of this, not this one, of the one that you say is a function, which is this one lah. So what will be the domain? So you need to know that domain, the other word for it is object. Okay, when they say domain means they're referring to the object. Range means it's like an image. Okay, and function notation, okay, that one later I'll explain. Okay, let's go through the domain. Domain means object, right? It means the x-axis. Okay, if they want range ataupun codomain, that is the y-axis. So we have to look at the x-axis and see from the furthest left to the furthest right. So we all know the furthest left point is 0, the furthest right point is 5. So the graph is everything is in between 0 and 5. So the domain will be what? It will be x in between 0 and 5. Always put the smaller number in front and the bigger number here. Then that's the answer. What about range? Okay, if it's range, I will not write x. I will write fx. Or you can write y also can. The y-axis lah, okay? So the y-axis, I should root from paling bawah until paling atas. So paling bawah is -4, paling atas is -6. +6. So always put smaller number here and the big number here. So that is the range of image lah. Okay, and then the 0 until 5 is the range of object. And then they say state the function notation. So if they want you to state the function notation, means they want you to write the relation between object and the image. Let me explain. If you look at this point, the x coordinate is 0, the y coordinate is -4. And if you look at this point, the x coordinate is 2, the y coordinate is 0. If you look at this point, the x coordinate is 5, the y coordinate is 6. And we already know x coordinate is object, y coordinate is image. It means if I change this to a Venn diagram, not Venn diagram, arrow diagram, 0, when 0 is the object, -4 is the image. When 2 is the object, 0 is the image, right? Because x coordinate stands for object, right? Y coordinate is image. And then 5, 6 means what? 5 will be the object, 6 will be the image. That's what it means. Because x-axis is object, y-axis is image. And now they want you to state the function notation. Means they are asking us the relation between the object and the image. So 0, how to become -4? Maybe some of you will say -4, which is true, because 0 minus 4 is indeed -4. But if you look at the second set or second pair, 2 minus 4, do you get 0? You don't get 0, because 2 minus 4 is -2. Same with 5 minus 4, you don't get 6. So the relation here is not -4. It's actually 0 times. Okay, 0 become -4. So what I have to do? So we all know 0 times anything is 0, right? And then 2 becomes 0. Okay, I think I know. 5 times... Okay, the relation is times 2 and then -4. Because when you take 0 times 2, you get 0. 0 minus 4, you end up -4, right? What about this one? 2 times 2 is 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. So can you see it match? What about the 5 to 6? 5 times 2 is 10. 10 minus 4 is 6. It means the relationship, the hubungan between these two is darab 2 tolak 4. So the function notation here, I will write what? Fx equals to 2x minus 4. Okay, that's how you write function. Okay, 2x minus 4, because I have to darab 2 first and -4, right? That's how you do it. So that's the answer for question number 3. Yeah. Okay, I think I can continue with the next question. Let's go question number 4. So 4a, given the function gx equals to this, gfx equals to this, find f3. You see, this is the type of question that students always struggle, because they always how to say, use the wrong method, ataupun they never do enough exercise. So can you see there, bagi single and then bagi composite and then cari single. This is the type of question that student paling tak boleh buat in this chapter. Okay, and if you don't know how to do this, you need to pay more attention and make sure starting from now you know how to do. Okay, so if they give you a single function and a composite function and ask you to find single, you should always start with composite. That's how I teach, right? In class, you should always start with composite. So G big bracket fx equals to 2 over x minus 1. And you will start from composite. And now what you do is, the right hand side, don't do anything, just salin saja. And on the left hand side, you will look whatever inside, siapa yang duduk dalam. So you will look at dalam. So what is inside here? What's dalam here? Fx, right? And if you look, do you have fx here? This is gx, this is gfx. You don't have fx, okay? Because you are trying to find fx. It means dalam tak ada. And how do I teach in class? If dalam tak ada, you tak payah let. But if dalam ada, then you kena let. That's how I mentioned, right? I repeat. If dalam tak ada, then it's the easier version. Like it's very easy one. You tak payah let. But if dalam ada, then you have to let. Then that one is like different a bit one. Okay. If dalam ada, then you will masuk dalam, and then you will let y equals to bracket, and then cari x, and then blah, 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 and keep going. But for this case, it's not dalam ada punya case. It's dalam tak ada. Can you see dalam tak ada? So if dalam tak ada means, I will terus tengok luar. Okay. So terus tengok luar. And dekat luar apa? Dekat luar is G, right? And if you look at carefully, G, do I have function G? I have, right? Because if dalam tak ada means luar mesti ada one. So outside the G have. And this is G, this is also function G, means I can salin this inside here. 5 plus 2x divide 3. But of course, I have to be careful. I cannot write x here. I have to write fx here. Because my x here is already replaced with the whole fx. So the x here also have to change to fx. So now I can find fx. I just have to pina. First, I will pina the 3. 5 plus 2 fx equals to times 3 is 6 over x minus 3. And then minus 5. Huh? So what happens when you minus 5? 6 over x minus 3 minus 5 is minus 8. And then everything divide 2, which is 3 over x minus 4. So I sudah berjaya cari fx. Okay. And please remember, if you have x dekat bawah fraction, you have to write x cannot equals to 0. Because if x duduk bawah means you have to write the undefined case. So this is the undefined case. Okay, but what the soalan wants, they want to find f3, right? So now it's very easy. You just ganti the x with 3. So 1 minus 4 is negative 3. That's the answer. Okay. So remember, if dalam ada, then you kena let. But if dalam tak ada, like this one, dalam tak ada, luar ada, then tak ada, tak payah let. Okay. But of course, if dalam ada, then the working will be different already. The answer will be different. The working also will be different because you will let. Just remember that lah. Okay. Hopefully you understand. Okay, let's move on. B. It is given that the inverse function is this, find hx. All right, this is quite easy lah. It's 3 marks, right? So okay, usually there's a lot of method to do this kind of question one, but this is the method I teach in class and the method I like to use a lot. So let the final answer equals to A, because the final answer is hx. And now what I do is x equals to h can move to the other side, become h inverse A. And then h inverse x is 4x plus 7. So h inverse A will be 4a minus 7. And then now you try to find A, because you already let your final answer equals to A, right? So how to find A? X minus 7 jadi plus 7 times 4 jadi divide 4. And A will be your hx. So hx equals to x plus 7 over 4. You don't have to write the undefined case for this function, because it's not like just now where bawah ada x. Just now bawah got x, that's why I write. Now the x tak ada dekat bawah, dekat atas. So there's no undefined case for this function. So that's the answer. Okay, but of course I know like there's the other method also. Okay, you can use the other method also, as long as the answer is same, then boleh. Okay, question 2. Express P in terms of K if H inverse HK plus 5 equals to HP. Okay, you need to know something. In function, if F and F inverse, they are together, what you can do is you can cancel them. You can potong them. So for example, if it's F inverse X, what you can do is you can cancel, you just left with whatever inside the bracket, which is X for this case. But what if it's a F inverse Fx? You can also cancel them, doesn't matter. Just remember, if it's one F, one normal and one inverse, you can cancel them together like this. So what is H inverse HK plus 5? You will just left with K plus 5, because this one you can cut and cut. All right. Only can cut when it's a one function and one inverse, then only you can cut. Equals to HP, and the HP I already know hx is x plus 7 over 4. So HP will be p plus 7 over 4. And the soalan asks for p in terms of k, so I should make p single. How to make p single? Let's move the fraction over here. 4 times k is 4k, 4 times 5 is 20. P equals to 4k, 20 minus 7, I think is 13. So p is equals to 4k plus 13. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, let's go to number 5. Given log a base 10 smaller than 0, state the range of values of a. We all know when the soalan says state range, means your answer will have this symbol or this symbol or this symbol or this symbol. Okay, range is like julat, so it will have this inequality symbol, one of these. Okay, all right, so let's look at the soalan. Log a base 10 smaller than 0. They want you to state the range of values of a, right? So what you do is, you can move the log base to the other side, right? What happens when you move the log base to the other side? The log base become the number base like this, okay? And the symbol is still smaller. So now it will be a smaller than 1. But there is a problem here, because if this is your answer, then it means it's wrong. Because you need to know something, because we all know that log, the base and the number here, these two numbers cannot be negative, okay? Because if it's a negative, one of these is negative, the whole thing will become math error, So actually this one cannot be negative. It means A is smaller than 1, okay, but at the same time, it should be bigger than 0, okay? Because if it's negative value here, if this number ends up being negative, it will be math error, okay? It will be math error. So you need to know that this value cannot be negative, okay? So that's why it has to be in between 0 and 1, okay? Then what about 0? What if this is 0 then? What will happen if this is 0? Okay, you can try with your calculator. What happens when you can log 10, 0? Let's try. Log 10 and then you get math error also, right? So it means that this A cannot be 0 also. So it must be bigger than 0, but smaller than 1. So that's answer. Okay. What happens if it's a 1? What happens if it's 1? Let's press. This is math error, right? But log 1 is what? Log 10, 1. Can you see it's equals to 0? Equals to 0. So since they use the symbol smaller than 0, it means that the the A cannot be 1 lah. It cannot be 1. It must be smaller than 1, but it also cannot be 0. Like it has to be bigger. So it's in between lah. Okay. So hope you understand lah. All right, let's go to B. Given that A equals to this, B equals to this, simplify this in terms of A and B. This is definitely an indices question. And if you look in the middle here, it's a plus minus. Why I circle this is because if it's a times divide question, I can combine them if they are same base lah. But if it's a plus minus, I cannot combine them. I need to split everything, separate everything, and then bungkus, separate and bungkus. Okay, so for this question, 49 power x plus y plus 7 power x minus y. They want the answer to be in terms of A and B. It means I have to try my best to change this to what? To 7 power x and 7 power y, because 7 power x is A and 7 power y is B. But how to change this mass into 7 power x and 7 power y? You need to make the base, jadikan base 7 lah, right? And we all know 49 memang can change to base 7. 49 is 7 power 2. But 7 power 2, you still have to power x plus y. This is already base 7, so just leave it lah. Jangan kacau dia. And now, if the power is side by side like this, you can times, it will be times. So you have to times them together, 2x plus 2y like this, plus 7 power x minus y. Now the base is already betul already, but I still cannot change to A and B because A is just 7 power x, and now it's not 7 power x, it's 7 power 2x plus 2y. So now you have to separate everything. Okay, separate everything. So how will you separate 7 power 2x times with 7 power 2y? Same with this, how you separate 7 power x times with 7 power negative y. But of course, I know some students will write divide here because they thought minus, right? Can also. But if you write divide, then you don't write the negative, okay? But in class, I mentioned a lot, I usually prefer doing writing times. So, but it's the same, okay? All right, but still cannot change to A and B, because do you remember, if I want to change to A and B, I need to make sure it's 7 power x only and 7 power y only. This is 7 power 2x. So what I will do is, since the 2 is kacau, I will tendang dia keluar like this. All right. Times with 7 power y, same thing. I will tendang the 2 keluar. And since this is already 7 power x, I will just leave it. And then this, I will also tendang the negative keluar. What happens when you tendang the negative keluar? It will be -1 like this, right? Why can tendang keluar like this? Because if I give you A power m power n, it's same with A power m times n. It's also same with A power n power m. It's also same with A power mn. So everything I write here is the same thing. It's the same thing because you will end up just multiplying these two things. So m times n, n times m, m times n, they are all the same. That is why 2 times x is same with x times 2. That's why it's not wrong to write like this, okay? Because x times 2, you will end up getting back 2x. And what's the reason of writing it in this specific way? So that I can change to A and B. So 7 power x is A, so A square times with 7 power y, which is B square. You don't have to write the times also can, but if you want to write, you write. Okay? Plus 7 power x is A times with 7 power y -1, which is B power -1, right? So this is the answer. But I don't like when my answer got power negative. So why not we make it like kemas sikit. So how to make the negative go away? You can letak bawah. When you letak bawah, the base tetap sama, tapi kuasa dia berubah tanda. So -1 will change sign, become +1. So that's the answer for number 5. Okay, let's continue with question number 6. The population of bacteria A grows according to this function. So this is bacteria A. I think I should write this down, right? So yeah, let's write it down. So A power n equals to 200 E power n. And the population of bacteria B grows according to this function such that n is the number of days. Oh, the n represents number of days. So if I want to know the population after 3 days, how to know the population of bacteria after 3 days? I will just guarantee the n with 3 and then press calculator 200 times E power 3. Then the calculator will give me the population of bacteria. Okay, that's how you do it lah. And then what about the E? Okay, the E is not an unknown, it's a number. It's 2 point something, right? So you don't you don't have to worry about the E. Okay, A says what? Find the total population of bacteria A on the second day. So I should guarantee the N with 2, right? And they are talking about population of bacteria A only, so definitely guarantee into this equation. So what I will do is A2 equals to 200 E power 2, and I will press the calculator. And how to tekan the E? You will use the shift ln button, I believe. Okay, let's tekan 200 first. 200 times with shift ln and then kuasa 2. So 1477.81. So that is the answer for A. Quite easy. Okay, B. After how many days? It means n equals to nak cari lah. It means nak cari n. After how many days that the total population of both bacteria, will exceed 800,000. So both bacteria, so I should take 200 E power n plus with 20 E power n plus 1, both add together, and then exceed 800,000, so bigger than 800,000, like this. Okay, and now I'm trying to find the n. Okay, so now what I do is I will just solve this equation. All right. Okay, how can I solve this? Let's think about this. Let's see. So we know this is a times relation, right? So it'll be 200. And since this one I cannot solve, why not we just bunkos it, right? And we can't combine these two, because it's a plus. If it's a times divide, then I can combine them. But since it's a plus, so why not we use the separate and bunkos punya cara? So the 20, I will leave it like this. And this thing can separate, becomes E power n times with E power 1 like this. Okay. I already explained just now in the question number 5, why you can separate like this. So now let's continue. It's bigger than 800,000. 200 bracket E power n, just leave it, plus with, okay, E power 1 times 20, this one can do, right? 20 times E, let's tekan. So 20 times shift ln and then 1, because it's E power 1, right? So it's 54.37. 54.37 bracket E power n. Because the E power n cannot do, that's why I goes like this. Bigger than 800,000. Now we can see that the bunkos here and this bunkos here, they are the same. So if they are the same, I can tukar this E power n kepada A sementara. I can change this to A. So it becomes 200A plus 54.37A. So you press calculator, you get 254.37A. 254.37A. But of course, you don't write A, you write E power n, bigger than 800,000. So E power n is 800,000 divided by this. Let's use calculator. 100, 3000 divide answer. 3145.08. 3145.08. And of course, the symbol is still bigger. Because you are dividing positive number, you don't have to change anything. And until here, you have to tambah log both sides, because there's no way that you can change both this number to the same base, because E is a 2.7 blah blah blah. It's like a very ugly value, and this is also like a decimal point, so there is no way of changing these two numbers into same base. If you can change to same base, then you don't have to add log, but this one, no chance of changing to the same base. So for sure you need to add log both sides. This will be E, the power I'll put in front, and then bigger 3145.08. And now I can get my A n by pressing log 3145.08 divide log E. So let's press together. Log 3145.08 divide log base 10, but it's E, right? So how to press E? Just tekan shift ln 1. Shift ln 1. Okay, 8.05. 8.05. Now, the problem is, what is the symbol here? Is it bigger or I have to change to smaller? Okay, if we only have to change the symbol when it will divide by negative value. But log 10e is not a negative value. This is a positive value, okay? You will only get negative value when you press log 0 point something. Just remember this. If you press log 0 point something, you can try. log 0.9 or 0.754, as long as it's 0 point something, then you will get negative value. But log E is not a 0 point something value, it's a 2 point blah blah blah, right? So that's why it's a positive value. Okay. But of course, if you don't know this, you can how to say, during exam, you can just check in the spot with the calculator. Okay. If you press log E, you will get positive. That's why you don't have to change the value. So n is equals to what? Is equals to 9. Not 8, not 8 is 9. Because it means that when the n is 8, the population is still doesn't exceed 800,000 yet. Okay. So it should be 9 days. Because the answer is 8.05. It means during 8 days, after 8 days, the population still haven't exceed 800,000. But during the 9 days, then it already exceed. Okay. So the n is equals to 9, right? Okay, I think done already. I will continue with question number 7. So 7A is according to study of an express delivery system service, 2% of the packages mailed through a company do not arrive at their destination within the specified time. Okay, 2% of the packages doesn't arrive. So we can say that the probability of not arriving is 0.02 and the probability of packaging arriving is 0.98. And then they say state the type of random variable involved and give your justification. Okay, there's only 2 types of random variable. First, we have the discrete random variable, and then the other type is we call continuous random variable. Let me explain. Okay, tak apa. I will just keluar sekejap and show you this other question. So this is from Malacca Trial 2022, and in the I made this video. My last video is in the last video. I did this paper, and I want to show you one of the question that I found here. I think it's question. Let me find it. Question 10, I think. 10 or 12. Okay, question 12. Okay, here it is. So let's look at this question. So look at question 12A. State the function in diagram 8. Is it a discrete or continuous? And the answer is continuous. But let me tell you, this is not under the same chapter. This is under chapter function. So function, there is a discrete function and also continuous function. But if you look at this question, the MRSM question, this is not function. They are asking for random variable. But you need to know that there's also 2 types of random variable. One, we call it discrete random variable, and the other one, we call it continuous random variable. Okay. And I remember when I explained this question, the Malacca question, this question, I also explained it the same way by drawing these 2 graphs. And if you want the more detailed explanation, you can watch that video. I already upload already. This video I upload before already. The Malacca 2022 trial. So let's talk about what the discrete and continuous means. Discrete variable, the graph will look like this, like this, like this, like this. That's discrete. Continuous, the graph look like this, like this. Okay. So let me tell you the difference. For discrete, the points are not connected. The points are not connected. For continuous, the points are connected. The points are connected. So state the type of random variable involved and give your justification. So this is talking about what? Talking about whether the package arrive or not. So it's maybe like, let's say out of 5 packages, maybe none of it arrive, or maybe 1 arrive, or 2 arrive, or 3 arrive, 4 arrive, 5 arrive. Of course, the probability of all of this will be different because probability will be 0.02, 0.98. So it's either 0 arrive, or 1 or 2 or 3 or 5. So I would say that the graph would look like this. It means this is a discrete random variable. So state the type of random variable, I would say this is a discrete random variable. Okay. Or I can also explain it like this. If it's a discrete random variable, the n will be a positive number and the n is a whole number. Okay. But for continuous, the graph will look like this. Okay. It would be like a straight line. Okay. Not necessarily straight line. It can be a curve also. Okay. But it will be continuously. The graph will continue. Okay. It means like the points will be connected. Okay. But this is a discrete random variable. And they ask you to give a justification. So we can say, what's the justification? We can say that because n must be a whole number and positive value. Okay, because the n must be a whole number. Okay, it cannot be like 2 point something or 3 point something. But if for continuous, the point is going along this way, right? But if you want a more detailed explanation, you can watch the Malacca trial, question, what just now I forgot already. Malacca trial question 12. Okay, so I hope you know that in function, there's a discrete function and continuous function, but for random variable also, there's also two types, discrete random variable and continuous random variable. Okay. Okay, I know in the schema jawapan, I just check it now and it says that countable, right? Is right that because n is countable. Yeah lah, it means that the n must be countable. It means you can count it like 1, 2, 3, 4, something like that. It must be a whole number lah. Okay, must be a whole number because you cannot count if the number is like got decimal point or got fraction, right? So that's the explanation. Okay, let's go to soalan B. We are still under probability distribution. In a jewelry store, in a jewelry store, 2 out of 7. So this is definitely probability 2/7. Bought jewelry on the day. So probability bought 2/7. So what is the probability of not buying jewelry is 5/7, right? So it means the customer not tak bayar. So no bought is 5/7. How you get is 1 minus this. But we still don't know which one is P, which one is Q. Okay, we still don't know which one is considered success. If 10 customers from the store are selected, so the N is 10. And then find the probability that exactly 4 of them bought jewelry. So question number 1, they want you to find probability exactly 4 of them bought jewelry. Means what is the P and what is the Q? What is the probability of success? The probability of success will be probability of yang bought jewelry, which is 2/7, and the Q is 5/7. But if you look at question 2, they ask for probability that at most 2 of them did not buy jewelry. Means for question 2, your P and Q have to change already for P and Q. But for number 1, this is your P, this is your Q. So what is all the possible values of X? Maybe out of the 10 customer, tak ada satu yang success. Means tak ada satu yang bought. Tak ada satu yang bought. Or maybe out of the 10, satu yang bought. Or maybe 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. What does it mean by 10 here? Means that 10 customer masuk, 10 customer pun bought jewelry. Okay. And what they want is only exactly 4. So we'll only do Px equals 4. And we will use the binomial distribution formula. So 10 C4 bracket, tulis P dulu, 2/7, and then tulis Q. Kalau sini 4, sini pun 4, and then here will be 10 minus 4, which is 6. Press this in your calculator, you should get 0 point something. So 10 C4 times bracket 2/7. Let me press power 4, and then times again, open bracket 5/7. Oh my god. Okay. So 5/7 close bracket power 6. 0.1859. 1859. So that is the answer for question 1. But for question 2, they ask what? At most 2 of them did not buy the jewelry. So there is 2 methods to do this question. First method is you will do like this. Because at most 2 of them did not buy means what? Okay, let's look at this. These are all for yang buy jewelry. Buy. So if 0% buy, it means 10% does not buy. If 1% buy, means 9% no buy. If 2% buy, means 8% no buy. And then keep going, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. It means if 10%, all the 10% buy, it means zero orang yang not buy. Okay. And now they want you to find at most 2 of them did not buy. We all know at most the symbol is smaller sama dengan. It means what we are doing is Px equals 8 plus Px equals 9 plus Px equals 10. Okay. That's what I'm doing for this question. Because let me explain. At most 2 not buy, it means that 8% not buy ataupun sorry. At most 2 not buy means 2% not buy, 1% not buy, and also 0% not buy, which is equivalent to 8% buy, 9% buy, 10% buy. That's why you do like this. And now what you do is you will use the N10 PQ like this, and it will be 10C8 bracket 2 over 7 power 8, 5 over 7 power 6. Okay, plus with px equals 9, which is 10C9, 2 over 7 power bracket 2 over 7 power 9, 5 over 7 power 1. And then the last one will be 10C10, and then 2 over 7 power 10, 5 over 7 power 0. Okay, so now you will get something plus something plus something, and then final answer. Okay, let's press this. 10C8 times bracket 2 over 7 close bracket power 8 times again with 5 over 7 close bracket power 6, power 2. Why I write 6 here? Okay, this should be 2, right? Okay, luckily I saw the mistake now. So power 2. So it will be 0.001010195. So 1020 lah. 1020. Okay, because the decimal point is here, right? So move back 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, yes. Next one, 10C9 times with 2 over 7. Let's put bracket 2 over 7 power 9, and then times again with 5 over 7. So I got, wait, okay, it's like it's like this, 9.062740927 times 10 power negative 5. So it means I'm moving the decimal point backwards 5 times. So it'd be 0.4 zeros, 1, 2, 3, 4 like this, and then 9063. Okay, because I would write 4 significant figures, so 9063. Okay, let's go to the last one. 10C10 tak payah tekan, 5 over 7 power 0 tak payah tekan, because they are, this equals to 1, this equals to 1. So just press 2 over 7 power 10. So 2 over 7 power 10. Okay, 0 point, but this time it's power negative 6. So there should be 0.501, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 3625. Let me explain. Because the calculator give you 3.625, means the point is here, right? It means you have to move back 6 times. That's why it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's why there is 5 zeros after the decimal point. Okay. Okay, now I still have to add all together. So answer plus 0.00009063 plus 0.001020. Okay, I got my answer. It's like this. It's 1.1143 times 10 power negative 3, right? So I have to write 0.2 zeros and then 1114. Just write 4 significant figure, 1114. Because the decimal point is originally here, right? If you move back 3 times, 1, 2, 3, yeah, you end up here. Okay, but you should erase the point like this. And also this one also you don't have to show. Yeah, I just write it because I want to explain. Okay, so that is the answer. Hope you understand. Let's continue with question 8. Okay, 8A, a school mathematics quiz competition team consists of 15 participants. These participants are to be chosen from 8 boys, 10 girls. So if no condition means 18C 15, because they use the word chosen already. But this one is kalau no condition, okay? But they say calculate the number of different ways the team can be formed if there's at least 8 girls must be chosen. So I cannot do 18C 15. I have to pecahkan the option because yeah, I cannot choose less than 8 girls. It has to be at least 8 girls. It means I have to choose 8 girls, but to cukupkan 15%, I need how many boys? I need 7 boys lah. Or 9 girls, to cukupkan 15, I need 6 more boys to cukupkan 15. Or 10 girls, 5 boys, 10 girls, 5 boys, 5 boys. And then 11 girls. Okay, but wait. There's only 10 girls, right? So if you choose 11 girls, what is 10C11? It's math error. Because how can you choose 11% from 10%? It's impossible. It means I will eliminate the 11 girl, 12 girl, 13 girl, 14 girl, 15 girl option. It means that's all. Ini saja yang saya kena buat. So now I will open bracket. So 8 girls, 7 boys. 10 choose 8. So 10C8. 7 boys have to choose from 8 boys, so 8C7, tengah-tengah times. 9 girls choosing from 10 girls, so 10C9. 6 boy from 8 boy, 8C6 times 10 girl, 10C10. And then 8 boys, 5, so 8C5. tengah-tengah times. But of course here you will put plus. Let's press all together, then you get the answer. 10C8 times 8C7, 360 plus 10C9 times 8C6, 280 plus 10C10 is 1, so I can just skip that, and then 8C5, so it's 56. And then plus them together, I get 696. So hopefully you get the same answer. There's 696 ways to choose. Okay, so that's the A answer. Okay, let's move on to B answer. Okay, this question is very similar to one of the question in Malacca. Let me just show you now in Malacca. So I think it's question number 10. Yeah, question number 10. But there's a little difference here, but I still want to mention it. So let's look at question 10 now. So they say diagram 7 shows two types of beads that now will use to make bracelet. Hey, by the way, this paper I do already. I already uploaded the video. My last video I did this paper in my last video. Okay, so if you want the full explanation, you can go watch it. Okay, diagram 7 shows two types of beads whose now it will use to make bracelet. So I remember when I'm doing this question in my last video, I got mentioned about this thing, circular permutation. So for circular permutation, the formula you use is this n factorial divide n, or it is n factorial or n minus 1 factorial. N factorial divide n ataupun n minus 1 factorial. But I got mentioned also, if you see the word bracelet ataupun necklace, you have to divide 2. Okay. So this is the same. This formula and this formula is the same. Okay. So this formula or ataupun this formula. But why this question I never do that is because the soalan asks how many ways can Husna choose the beads so that each bracelet contains 6 flower beads and 3 butterflies. So the keyword here is choose. That is why I only use combination. I never arrange. I'm not counting the number of arrangement. I'm only counting the number of ways it can be chosen. That is why I never use this formula. Okay. But even though when I'm doing this question, I don't need to know this, but I still mention it. Even though it's not relevant to this question. So because this question, they never ask to find the number of arrangement, but I still mention it because I know that this question, this is very important. That's why I mention it. And you see now it comes out already in my next paper. And by the way, when I'm doing this, I still don't know yet the MRSM question, but so now it comes out already lah. So you have to make sure you know this. What else I want to say? Okay, kenapa kena bahagi dua for bracelet and necklace? Because the clockwise arrangement and the anti-clockwise arrangement will look the same. That is why you have to divide 2. Okay, only when you see this word bracelet ataupun necklace, then only you have to use divide 2. Okay, but if it's just arranging like 5 person in a circle, then it will just be 5 factorial divide 5 ataupun 5 minus 1 factorial. Both of these will give you the same answer. Okay, but if it's bracelet or necklace, then it's different because then you have to divide. You have to do this one and then divide 2. Okay, if you want the full explanation, you go and watch it yourself. Okay, I explain lagi detail in that video. Okay, come back here please. Soalan B. So soalan B says there are 7 pearls and 6 beads of different colors, okay, are to be arranged using different ways. So you see arrange. All the pearls are arranged in a circle. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's 7, right? So it's 7 factorial divide by 7. Okay. Or you can also jawab macam ni. You can also say the number of arrangement will be 7 minus 1 factorial. Okay, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But since this is a bracelet, you have to divide 2. Okay, let's keep reading. Arrange using different ways. All the pearls are arranged in circle to make a bracelet, as example shown in diagram 3A. Okay, while only 4 beads are arranged on a hair clip, as an example shown in diagram 3B. So how many beads you have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, but I only choose 4 to arrange. But you are arranging in a straight line, not a circle. So you don't have to divide by 4. If it's arranged in a circle, then you have to do that lah. Okay, but this one no need. You just arrange in a straight line. So that's all. And then they says what? The number of different ways to arrange the pearls on a bracelet is equal to the number of different ways to arrange beads on a hair clip. Verify your answer with calculation. Means I have to calculate this and calculate this lah. See whether they are same or not. So 7 minus 1 is 6, right? So 6 factorial means 6p6 divide by 2. So I get 360 here. And then what is 6p4? Oh, I also get 360. It means are the number of different ways to arrange pearl equal to the number? So yes lah. Okay. So modify your answer with calculation. They never ask you to write the reason, right? So, but I already show them the calculation. So I think this is good enough, right? Only 2 marks only. So that's the answer lah. So yes lah, both are the same. Huh? So hope you understand. Huh? Okay, let's go to question number 9. Diagram 4 shows a straight line PQ, definitely vector question. So PQ. So P, the coordinate give us already, but the Q, the X coordinate, I don't know, right? So let's see. It is given that the unit vector in the direction PQ is this. So even though they never give us this, I'm sure they will ask me to find, but they give us something else here. Unit vector. So find the value of n. So how to do that? So first I will ignore this unit vector. I will try to find my own unit vector. I'll try to find my own unit vector, and I will take my unit vector, compare with the unit vector that they give us. But before I find my own unit vector, I need to have my PQ punya vector dulu. And then I also need to get the magnitude of PQ. Then only I can start to do unit vector. So what is my PQ vector? So if I want P to Q punya vector, it will be something I plus something J, right? And I is for pergerakan kiri kanan, J is for pergerakan atas bawah. And since it's P to Q, then you must take Q punya coordinate tolak P punya coordinate. Tak boleh ambil P tolak Q, mesti Q tolak P because this is P to Q. So Q is the destination. So you have to take Q minus P. Means you will take n minus negative 3, which is n plus 3, and then 10 minus 8, which is 2. Okay. And now it will be n plus 3 bracket I plus 2j. But I still need the magnitude, right? So the magnitude of PQ, why I need magnitude? Because I'm finding unit vector, right? So that's why I need this. So what is the magnitude here? Square root, bracket square plus bracket square. And the bracket here will be n plus 3, the bracket here will be 2. So you will end up with n square plus 6n plus 9 plus 4, which is plus 13. So erase this whole thing and write plus 13. So now my unit vector is completed. So my unit vector will be what? So unit vector equals to, formula is 1 over magnitude n square plus 6n plus 13 times with the vector, which is n plus 3i plus 2j, and then times it. But we all know when we times, we will darab atas. Because the one I have to compare later, can you see they darab atas like that? So I follow them. Okay, so it will be n plus 3i plus 2j, so that I can compare easier later. Easier to compare later. So now I will take this one and then I'll compare with this. So we can clearly see 2j and the 2j, they are similar. So I can cut it, but don't cut it. Okay, so you can compare them. And then ki is equivalent to n plus 3i. It means k equals to n plus 3. So we have my first equation already. And what about this below part? It's a square root n square plus 6n plus 13, but we all know down part is 29. So the square root I don't have to take. So I will just take n square. No space already. I write here lah. N square plus 6n plus 13 equals to 29. And now I can solve for n here. After I solve for n here, then only I continue here to find k. And remember the soalan ask for k, ask for n. Oh, they ask for n. So it's okay lah. Let's just find both lah. It doesn't matter. So let's do this. So how to find n here? Since this is a quadratic, you have to move everything to one side equals 0. 29 move there become minus. 13 minus 29 is negative 16, right? And then you factorize, you will get n equals something, right? Okay, let's press mode, then mode degree 2. The A is 1, the B is 6, the C is negative 16. You end up with 2 and negative 8. So it means n minus 2, n plus 8. Definitely reject this. Why? Because if you look carefully, n is duduk dekat sini. So it can be 2, but it can't be negative 8 because it's at the right side, right? These are all positive part. So if the n is 2, then k will be equals to 2 plus 3, which is 5, right? But the soalan asks for what? Find the value of n. So I think you can stop here. So the n is 2. So that's the coordinate of q, 210. Okay. So yeah, I think that's all, right? Okay, let's go to soalan B. So remember, this is not the answer. The K is not the answer. This is the answer. It means this one you never do for them also can. Okay, but if you want to write also can lah. Just make sure at the end of it you write ... n equals to 2. then they can give you marks here. Okay, soalan number 2. Hence express vector OQ, but they say in the form of column vector. Okay, column vector means they want you to write like this lah, dalam bentuk bracket. Means you need to know OQ is, you need to know vector OQ in terms of IJ first. So do you know that O to Q? Yes, because O is origin and to Q is 210. So we all know this is 2i plus 10j. So 2i plus 10j. But since they want in column vector, you write in column vector lah, 210. So that's how you do it, right? Very easy. Yeah. Let's go to soalan B. So soalan B says diagram 5 shows a quadrilateral. Okay, we can see it. It looks like a trapezium, but maybe it's not a trapezium. I don't know. We cannot assume because they never say it. So it shows a quadrilateral KLMN. Okay, so they got labeled some vector here for us, and then now they says what? Prove that the vector LM is parallel to vector KN. The moment you see the word parallel, what you have to think about? You have to take vector LM and then take vector KN, and then in this, and you can take these two vector sama dengan, tapi kena tambah K. Tapi tak semestinya tambah K. You can tambah any alphabet you want. You can even add lambda. Don't add lambda lah, because lambda have already in the soalan. Just use any alphabet you want lah. Okay. Just don't use alphabet yang sudah exist dalam soalan. So what I will do now is I will take vector LM and vector KN. They will equal. Why can they equal is because they ask you, they mention the word parallel. So remember, if they are parallel, means these two vectors can equal. Okay. But what if the soalan says non-parallel? Okay, if you see the word non-parallel, you terus ambil the coefficient equals 0. Okay. But let's come back here lah. Okay, so tengah-tengah kena tambah. Let's tambah K lah. Okay. Because K tak ada dalam soalan, right? So now it will be LM. Okay, what's vector LM? A plus B. So A plus B equals to K darab dengan KN. But if you look carefully, KN tak ada kan? So how to find KN? Okay, since my masalah now is KN, so let's try to find KN. So lupakan sini because I don't have KN. So I try to find KN. So KL plus LM plus MN. Okay, because I'm trying to find KN, right? Okay, what is KL? 3A. What is LM? A plus B. What is MN? Okay, this one you can darab masuk, it will be 5 lambda A plus lambda B. But they want MN, not NM. So this one you have to tukar tanda. So it will be, okay, let's erase the plus. So when you tukar tanda, it will be what? Minus 5 lambda A minus lambda B. So you will get this, and then 3A plus minus 5, it will be, let's just factorize out terus lah. 3A plus A is 4, so 4, and then minus 5 lambda, and then the A I take out. Same with the B here, I can factorize, just left with 1 minus lambda. So this is your vector for Kn. So I can masuk this thing here, 4 minus 5 lambda A plus with 1 minus lambda B. Okay, but don't forget that you have to take all of this times K, right? But I realize it's better to just tambah K here and not tambah here. Did you know that you can tambah here also? Just remember this. If these two vector parallel, it means you can take these two vector equals, right? LM equals to Kn and then tambah K. But you can also write like this. Vector Kn equals to vector LM and then tambah K here can also. But for this question, it's better to tambah here. You know why? Because the vector Kn is already is complicated enough already. So I decide last minute now, I change the K to here. And then now there's no K here already. So it will be Ka plus Kb equals to 4 minus 5 lambda A plus 1 minus lambda B. But of course, if you want to do it like just now, can also. It is not wrong one. Okay. I just want you to know that you can do that. Okay. I need you to know that. But if you want to leave the K here, then this will be what? 4K minus 5K lambda. And this will be K minus K lambda because you take the K times inside. And then you will compare to the other side. But you still end up with the same thing. But I want to show you my perspective. Like I want to show you how I do it. Okay. So you can learn new things. So if I am you and I'm doing this question, this is how I would do it. I would last minute change the K to the other side just to make things easier. And also if it looks very complicated, it's very easy to make mistake also, right? Okay, now let's compare. K equals to 4 minus 5 lambda. And then the other one, K equals to 1 minus lambda. And since they are already K and K, I think I can hapus. I can do elimination, just minus them, right? So k minus k is 0, 4 minus 1, so 0, it goes to 3. Negative 5 minus minus 1 is negative 5 plus 1, which is negative 4 lambda. So I get 4 lambda equals to 3, lambda equals to 3 over 4. But I still have to continue by, how to say, by substituting this back inside so that I can get my k. 1 minus 3 over 4 is 1 over 4. So finally, I can finally write my equation. K is 1 over 4, so I have to tengok balik yang paling atas this one. So it will be K times Lm, which is 1 over 4 times vector Ln equals to vector Kn, right? Or you can also write like this. Kn equals to 1 over 4 Lm. Can also is the same one, doesn't matter. You want to write like this also can, like this also can, it's the same thing. Okay, so that we can prove already they are parallel. Since these two vectors boleh sama dengan, right? And you remember dalam dunia vector, if two vectors can equal, then they are parallel. Doesn't matter what number here, it doesn't matter. It can be 3 over 7, 5 over 12, doesn't matter, because that is just the ratio. So since vector Kn equals to 1 over 4 Lm, so we can say that Kn vector and Lm vector are parallel. Okay, and the 1 over 4 would be the ratio. The ratio. Okay, so that is the final answer. So let me just check quickly. Okay, yeah, betul. Okay, so let's continue with the next question. Okay, number 10. It is given that sine alpha equals to negative 3 over 5, tangent beta equals to 2, such that angle alpha and beta are in the same quadrant. And then they say, if this one, find the value of m. Okay, I need to analyze the information first. Sine alpha negative 3 over 5, tangent beta is 2. And they say angle alpha and beta are in the same quadrant. So same quadrant means which quadrant? Okay, first of all, if you look at sine, the sign bernilai negative means which quadrant? So we all know add sugar to coffee. Sign positive is the first quadrant and second quadrant. So sign negative will be 3 and 4. So this is the third quadrant and the fourth quadrant. What about tangent bernilai positive? It will be 1 and 3, right? 1 and 3. So they also mentioned this both is situated in the same quadrant. So definitely it's talking about quadrant 3. And you have to draw. Okay, you have to draw. Because if you don't draw, it's very difficult to do one. So trust me, you have to draw. For this type of question, you have to draw one. And where you will draw? You will draw in the third quadrant because you already know it's in the third quadrant. But why you draw 2 times? Because one is for pseudo alpha, one is for pseudo beta. Okay, so and don't forget to tarik towards x-axis. 90 degree, tarik towards x, 90 degree. And the alpha always must start from here. So this is your alpha. And this is your beta. Okay, and they say sine alpha is 3 over 5. And we all know sine is opposite of hypotenuse. So the opposite is 3. So this is 3. Hypotenuse is 5. Don't look at the negative. The negative only indicates quadrant. So can I find this side? Yes, right. Square root, bracket square minus bracket square. It will be 5 minus 3. Just use Pythagoras theorem. And then you will end up with 4. Rupa-rupanya this panjang is 4. Okay. Let's go to tangent. Tangent is opposite over adjacent. And there's nothing down means 2 over 1. So this is opposite, this is adjacent. Opposite is 2. So opposite, this is 2. Adjacent, this is 1. So can I find this? Bracket square plus bracket square. Why I plus? Because you are finding the longer side. So it'll be square root 4 plus 1 square root 5. Okay. So that's how you should start. After this, now only you can do this one. So now they say if cos, okay, let's do it here. Cos bracket alpha minus beta equals to m square root 5 over 5. Find the value of m. Okay, how I should do this? Okay, first of all, the right hand side, I will leave it. I won't even touch it. I will just do the left hand side. And since I see a plus minus sign inside here, it means I will automatically think about the multiple angle formula, which is cos A plus minus B. And the formula, if I'm not mistaken, is cos A cos B minus plus sine A sine B. Okay, let me show you. This formula actually got given in the exam. Okay, but I still recommend students to memorize it. So let me just find it. Okay, this is the Malacca one. The reason I'm using Malacca punya state is because in the MRSM state, they never give formula. That's why. So yeah, I found it already. Can you see it? This one. This one, cos A cos B minus plus sine A sine B. Okay. So yeah. Okay, let's come back here. So since for this case, my A is alpha, my B is beta lah. So it will be cos alpha, cos beta. And this is minus, right? So if this is minus means sini pun saya kena bawah baca dengan bawah. So this will be plus sine alpha, sine beta. And then now it will be bracket, bracket, plus bracket, bracket equals to m square root 5 over 5. And I think later you will compare. Get the value of m, you need to compare. All right, let's masuk cos alpha. So cos alpha, of course, I will refer to this diagram. And then what I will do is I'll put adjacent or hypotenuse. Adjacent will be 4, hypotenuse will be 5. So, but this is not, this is just cos, this is not cos alpha. This is cos alpha punya reference angle. It means when you write 4 over 5, it's just cos sini saja. Sini saja, the one I lukis sekarang. If you want the real cos alpha, you have to consider quadrant because the alpha actually is in third quadrant. That is why you have to tambah negative because in third quadrant is rumah tangent. So cos have to berilan negative. What about cos beta? Same like just now. Adjacent or hypotenuse 1 over square root 5. But this time, do you need to tambah negative? The answer is yes, because this is third quadrant is tangent, so yeah, negative. And then next is sine alpha. Sine alpha is opposite of hypotenuse. So let's look at this diagram. Don't look at this. I'm talking about alpha. So opposite is 3, hypotenuse is 5. Same like just now. You have to consider quadrant because 3 over 5 is not sine alpha. It's sine alpha punya corresponding angle, which is sini. So the 3 over 5 is just sine alpha punya reference angle. So I have to still have to consider quadrant. So the quadrant is actually quadrant 3. That's why also have to tambah negative. Ataupun you tengok sini also can one. You curi-curi tengok sini pun boleh. Okay. Okay, sine beta. What's sine beta? Look at this diagram. What's the opposite hypotenuse? Opposite is 2, hypotenuse is square root 5. So 2 over square root 5. And also negative because this is third quadrant. Third quadrant only tangent positive. Now I can scroll down and I'll just do this, then I'll get my answer. Atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah. So 4 over 5 square root 5. Do it again. Atas darab atas, bawah darab bawah. 6 over 5 square root 5. And then equals to m square root 5 over 5. Since this one, the denominator same, the bawah sudah sama, I can combine into single fraction. And then 4 plus 6 is 10. And this will be m square root 5 over 5. Okay, let's think about this. How can I find m? I think I will cross multiply. I think I will darab silang. Of course, there's other method also. You can do other way, which is make the pembawah here I times square root 5, here I times square root 5, and then compare. Can also. But I will use the cross multiply method to explain. So how to do cross multiply? 5 times 10 is 50, and then 5 times m is 5m, square root 5 times square root 5 is 5. It means when you take here times here, you will take number times number, cert times cert, means 5 times m is 5m, square root 5 times square root 5 is 5. So 5m equals to 10, m equals to 2. Okay, that's how I would do it lah. So the m is 2. Okay, let's move to B. B says what? It is given that tangent theta minus 60, whoa, I see plus minus sign again. So definitely multiple angle again. Just like just now lah. But just now the one is cos punya. Sekarang is tangent punya. But let's finish reading first. Tangent theta minus 60 equals to -1, okay. And then tangent theta equals to k, okay. And then they say find the value of k in third form. Okay, there's one method to do it, which is you can shift tangent -1. Okay, not shift tangent -1, shift tangent 1. You will end up with 45, and then the theta minus 60 will be 45, but it can also be which quadrant? Because add sugar to coffee, right? So it'll be 2 and 4. So actually it can't be 45. It must be second quadrant, which is 180 minus 45, 135, and then 360 minus. What is 360 minus 315? And then theta equals to plus 60, which is 195. And then this one is 315 plus 60, 395. And then k equals to tangent 195. K equals to tangent 395. And then if you press calculator, you get a value. Right? But I don't like this method because if you use this method, you can't get your answer in third form. If you use the white color calculator, then you can do this, right? So wait, let's try it. K equals to, I think can also, right? Because 195 I can minus 180, but 195 is in third quadrant, so tangent bernilai positive, right? So K equals to tangent 195 minus 180. What is it? 15. But we all know 15 is 60 minus 45, right? And then I will just do K equals to, and then I will use the multiple angle formula, which is tangent A plus minus B equals to tangent A tangent B over 1 minus plus tangent A tangent B. Okay, that's I'll show you. Okay, so yeah, it's here. This one, tangent A plus minus tangent B over 1 minus plus tangent A tangent B. So let's come back. Okay, actually I missed out here. This is plus minus. There's a plus minus here. So now my A would be 60, right? Okay, let's kecilkan sikit. Okay, so now my A is 60, my B is 45. So it will be tangent 60 plus minus tangent 45 over 1 minus tangent 60 tangent 45. And then now I'll scroll down, and we all hafal already. Tangent 60 is what? Is square root 3. And then tangent 45 is, okay, this one is, okay, this one is plus or minus. So let's check again. So if this is minus, then this must be minus, this must be plus. It means that this must be minus, this must be plus. Okay. So this must be minus. Okay. So now it'll be cert 3 minus tangent 45. What's tangent 45? 1. Okay. Because you hafal already, right? This is 30, 45, 60, sine, cos, tangent. 1 over 2, 1 over 2, cert 3 over 2, cert 3 over 2, 1 over cert 2, 1 over cert 2, 1 over cert 3, 1 cert 3. Okay, I hope you got half this one. Huh? And then what about bawah? 1 plus tangent 60, tangent 45, tangent 60, cert 3, tangent 45 is 1. So the answer is cert 3 minus 1 over 1 plus cert 3. But you can still simplify this because this is not, how to say, it's not simplest form. You can rationalize. How to rationalize? Means you hilangkan the square root at the denominator. But you have to darab dengan dia punya conjugate cert, darab 1 minus cert 3, 1 minus cert 3. So you will end up with what? Okay, when you darab bawah, you can just take depan, darab depan, belakang, darab belakang. 1 times 1 is 1, cert 3 times cert 3 is minus 3. Okay, because they are the same and satu plus, satu minus, that's why you can just skip over the middle part. Just depan, darab depan, belakang, darab belakang. But for this one, you have to one by one. Cert 3 times 1 is cert 3. Cert 3 times negative cert 3 is negative 3. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1. Negative 1 times cert 3 is positive cert 3. And then negative 3 minus 1 is negative 4. So I'll continue here. Cert 3 minus 1 is minus 4. And then plus with cert 3. But we all know cert 3 and cert 3, they are the same. So I can jadikan dia A, means A plus A, which is 2A. So 2 cert 3 minus 4 over negative 2. But the negative, you can tukar tanda for, because ada 3 ketul dekat sini kan. Means you can tukar tanda. So it'll be what? Negative 2 cert 3, positive 2 jadi negative 2, and then minus 4 jadi positive 4. But the positive 4, I can write like this, but I can also write depan, right? I can also write like this. Yeah, I can also. And then tukar tanda here, divide 2. And then since it's dividing by 2, means 4 divided 2 is 2. And then 2 cert 3 is 2. So it's cert 3. So this is the answer. But this method can also lah. You do like this, I think betul also. All right. But I want to explain using other method. Okay. So I will kecilkan all of this. I will kecilkan all of this. And then to explain using the other method here. Actually, what you can do is you can straight away start with the multiple angle formula, because they already mentioned tangent bracket theta minus 60 equals to negative 1, right? You can straight away use this formula, this tangent A plus minus B formula. But your A will be your theta, your B will be 60. Let me demonstrate quickly. Just draw a line equals to negative 1. And then this time it will be what? Tangent A plus minus tangent B. So tangent theta plus or minus. Okay, since this is minus, it means if this is minus, this must be minus, this must be plus. So this must be minus tangent B, which is 60 in this case. And then 1 plus Tangent A, tangent B means tangent theta, tangent 60. And then you will end up with tangent theta, which is, don't know. And then tangent 60, according to this table, is square root 3 over 1 plus tangent theta, don't know. But tangent 60 is what? Tangent 60 is square root 3, right? But it's a times relation equals to -1. But we do know that the tangent theta is k. So actually, I can erase this and write k to rows and write k to rows. It means it will be k here. So now it will be k minus square root 3 equals to what? -1 times 1 is -1, and then minus square root 3k like this. Betul lah. Find the value of k. So, yeah, I think boleh betul kan? And then we will continue by pindah this thing here. So it will be minus square root 3 pindah jadi plus square root 3k equals to, okay, yang ni pindah negative square root 3 become positive square root 3 minus 1 like this. But since I'm trying to find k, so I'll factorize. So I'll left with 1 plus square root 3 equals to square root 3 minus 1. So k equals to square root 3 minus 1 over 1 plus square root 3. So yeah, can also. Can you see that this one looks exactly the same as this? It looks exactly the same as this, right? And also this one. Okay, square root 3 minus 1 over 1 plus square. Yeah, it looks the same. Okay, and then how you simplify this? Like just now lah. You darab dengan 1 minus square root 3, 1 minus square root 3, but I won't mention it again already because I already mentioned just now. Okay, the process is just the same. Okay, and then you will reach here. Yeah, so both method works. Yeah, both method works. Okay, so I show you both method. You can just choose one of it lah. Okay, but actually I prefer like this. Actually, I prefer doing it like this. Yeah, but yeah, can also. All right, so 4 marks. Okay, let's not waste any time. Number 11. What chapter is this? The normal line. Okay, differentiation. Okay, yeah, did they mention this? I think it's differentiation. So the normal line to this curve at 0.15 is parallel to the straight line x plus y minus 8 equals 0. Find the value of a and b. If I am you, I will straight away try to find the gradient of this line. So y equals to negative x plus 8. So the gradient is -1. But they say what? The normal line to this curve at this point is parallel to this line. But we already know parallel means the gradient must be same. And I already know the gradient is -1. So now I just have to find the gradient of normal at this point. So how to find gradient of normal? First, you need to have gradient of tangent first. You need to have gradient of tangent before finding gradient of normal. But how to find gradient of tangent? You do the dy dx, get the gradient function, and then ganti nilai x dalam. So before doing differentiation, I have to make sure tak ada x dekat bawah. So bx naik atas. Now only I do dy dx, I will get 2ax, -1 times b is negative bx, power minus 1 is -2, which is 2ax minus b over x squared. Now, this is not the gradient function yet. This is not the gradient tangent yet. This is just the gf ataupun gradient function. If you want to get gradient tangent, you have to masukkan nilai x, which is 2a, and the x coordinate is 1, and then minus b over x squared. This one also ganti 1. And the moment you ganti nilai x, we don't call it gf. We will start calling it empty gradient tangent. So it'll be 2a minus b. But this is gradient tangent. I want gradient normal. So how to get gradient normal? Terbalik and tukar tanda. So this is 2a minus b over 1, right? So the gradient normal will be 1 over 2a minus b, but have to tukar tanda means tambah negative like this. So it will be 1 over negative 2a plus b like that. And since they say this gradient normal is parallel with this, so it means these two can sama dengan lah. So it means I will straight away take 1 over negative 2a plus b equals to -1. So 1 equals to -1 times negative is positive 2a, and then plus b is negative b. Okay, but what they want, I forgot already. Find the value of a and b. Okay, it means I can't do anything from here already lah. This is the first equation. So how to get the second equation? Do you remember they say the normal line of this curve is at this point? So you need to know something. If this is how the curve looks like, and this is the tangent, and I say this is 1,5, where will be the normal? It will be here, right? So it means this 1,5 is a very special point because it's the curve passes through this point, the tangent also passes through this point, and the normal also passes through this point. Means this point passes through the curve, passes through the tangent, and passes through the straight line. It means I can ganti this point inside here directly. But the x is 1, the y is 5. So the y I will ganti with 5, and then ax squared, which is a times bracket 1 square, plus b over x, which is b over 1. You will end up with 5 equals to a plus b, which is equation 2. And then we will do substitution or elimination. I think you can do elimination because this one is negative b, this is b already. So I can straight away transfer this equation here. So I will take equation 2 and equation 1. I think I will plus because the tanda tak sama, right? 5 equals A plus B, and then 1 equals to 2A minus B. And since the B and B, the coefficient same already, but the tanda is not same. That's why I plus. Okay. So B plus negative B is 0. 5 plus 1 is 6. 1A plus 2A is 3A. So A is 2. I cannot minus because if I minus, then I cannot hapuskan the B already. Because if I minus, you will end up with 2B already, which is not correct already. So A is 2, and then how to find B? Ganti here lah. When A equals to 2, use this. 1 equals to 2 bracket minus B 4, and then B equals to, wait, this is 2. So B equals to 4. So the answer is A equals 2, B equals 4, right? So hope you understand. That's the answer. Wait, why the schema different one? Did I do something wrong here? A equals to 2. 1 equals to 2A minus B. Okay, sorry. 1 minus. Okay, if we look carefully here, negative B and move here is 4, right? But the plus 1 pindah jadi minus 1. So the B is 3. Okay, so I made a careless mistake. It should be B equals 3. Okay, the rest is correct. Okay, finally, we are at the last question for section A. And then we'll go into section B. Okay, number 12. Let's see. The variable f and g are related by this equation. Let's write it down. 1 over f plus 1 over g equals 1 over 15. But I don't like this equation because there is fraction and I don't like fraction. But we can hilangkan if we need to do so. Let's read the question first. Given g increases at the rate of 1.2. So the moment you see the word rate, you must know that it's over dt. But if it says that g increases at the rate, then it's dg dt lah, and it's 1.2. No need to tambah negative because they say increase. Okay, find the rate of change of f. So same lah, also over dt, but rate of change of f, so df equals to question. And then when g equals to 20, so comma g equals 20. So I realized in trial exam, they like to ask this one, the rate of change. Okay, I think in my last video or my last video, I forgot which one, also comes out this rate of change. So you need to know this is under differentiation, under the rate of change. So how to do it? Macam mana saya ajar dalam kelas? First, you will leave this blank and then you will go here and draw something like this. Line equals to line, darab line. And I already say sini dengan sini wajib apa? You must write dt. Okay. And then you need to know that here and here must be same, here and here must be same. Okay. And usually I say what you will write here, usually. You will write the subject. Okay. Usually you will write the subject. So the subject of the equation is f or g. Well, it's not f and it's not g. It means that you can write df, dg, dg, ataupun you can also write dg, df, df can also. You do both also is correct one. You do both also is correct one. But I would recommend writing df. I would recommend making f the subject. Let me explain. Because if I make f the subject, the reason why I make f the subject is because of this. Okay, let me show you. Let's make f the subject. So 1 over f equals to 1 over 15 minus 1 over g. And then I will hilangkan the fraction by samakan the denominator. I will take this one times 15g times 15g. So I'll end it with 15g. And then I'll take this one, I times with fg times with fg, and I'll end up with fg. And then I times with 15f times with 15f, I'll end up with 15f. The reason I'm doing this is so that the denominator all same. Then I can hilangkan fraction, and then I'll make f the subject, right? So it will be negative 15 pindah jadi positive 15f equals to f. Sorry, I'm making f the subject. So what should I do? Let's think. It means that I will make f single. So I will factorize out f, left with g minus 15, and then f equals to 15g over g minus 15. It means my f equals to 15g over g minus 15. So if my subject is f, means this will be df, this is df, this is dg, this is dg. But of course, you can make g the subject also, tak salah one. If you make g the subject, then you will write dg, df, df lah. But can also, it doesn't matter one. Actually, both also you get the same answer. But I will tell you why later, why I choose this. It's because they give us the value of g here. And a lot of students, they will ganti this g inside here now. They will ganti terus like that. Which is salah tau. Salah. It's wrong now. It's memang salah. I don't understand why lah. Okay, but you have to know that this G you cannot ganti sekarang one. This G is for you to ganti after you differentiate, not sekarang. Okay, Because if you look carefully here, I already know the df, the dg dt is 1.2, means the dg dt I can muscle 1.2. The df dg, so far I don't have anything, but I know the df dt is what I want. This is what I want in the end. So what I have to find now, the df dg, that is why I will differentiate this. But a lot of students will make the mistake by gantikan the 20 inside. Wrong. You have to differentiate dulu baru ganti. So what you have to do now is differentiate. But how to differentiate this? Got G dekat bawah means you can't differentiate. You have to naik atas. But I got mentioned before, if atas sudah ada G, then you cannot naik already. Then you have to try to separate. But you can only separate when bawah ada satu term. For example, A plus B O C. You can separate. It will be A O C plus B O C. But if your bawah tak ada satu term, then you cannot separate. Like this one, you see bawah ada dua term. It means you can't move the G ke atas because atas sudah ada G, and you also cannot separate. It means there's only one choice, UV method. And which UV method you will use? The sin V differentiate U minus sin U differentiate V over V square. This is the formula. So df dg equals to what? Sin V differentiate U. So sin U, G minus 15. Differentiate U, you will end up with 15. Minus sin U, 15G. Differentiate V, you will end up with 1. Over V square, which is G minus 15 square. And then now, 15 times G is 15G. 15 times 15 is 225. Minus 15G over G minus 15 square. 15G minus 15G is 0. So you will end up with negative 225 over G minus 15 square. Now is the time to muscle the 20. Now is the time to muscle 20. Means you muscle the 20 after you differentiate. Remember. So this is 20. So what is 20 minus 15? 5. What is 5 squared? 25. What is 225 divided 25? Press calculator. Negative 9. So this is your df dg. So finally I can put in here negative 9. So your df dt will be negative 9 times 1.2. So the answer is negative 54 over 5. Ataupun 10.8 if you press the calculator. So the answer is negative 10.8. But don't forget to write the unit. Let's scroll up and see what's the unit. Find the rate of change in CMS minus 1. So you know it's CMS minus 1. Yeah, that's the answer. Right. So that's the 12A punya explanation. Let's go to B. Diagram 6 shows part of curve y equals to 1 minus x squared. Let's see y. Okay, there's some points here. I think I can write it down, right? So the x coordinate is p plus k. The y coordinate is q. And we have another point here, which is p. But the y coordinate, I don't know. But the y coordinate will be 1 minus p squared. The reason is because you ganti the x equals p inside here. That's why you end up with y coordinate is 1 minus p squared like this. Okay. Okay, let's see number 1, what they want. Number 1, find the first derivative, means differentiate first one sekali lah. Differentiate sekali of y with respect to x. So y is equals to 1 minus x squared. If you want to differentiate sekali, you will end up with negative 2x. Because differentiate 1 is 0, and then 2 times negative 1, power direct number, power minus 1. So that's the step. So quite easy, 1 mark, that's all. Okay, let's go to number 2. Calculate the approximate value of q. Where is it? Okay, here. In terms of P and K. Okay, let's see. Approximate. This is the keyword, approximate. So whenever you see the word small change ataupun approximate change, then this is under differentiation, and under which part? The small change, perubahan kecil punya bahagian. So how will you do it? You need to know that this you will, I think I will jadikan this the old value. This is the old value, and I will jadikan this the new value. It means my original, my old value, and this is x, this is y, right? This is x, this is y. So we know that the original value of x is p. The old value of x is p, but it changed to p plus k. So what is my delta x? It will be the new value minus the old value, which is k, right? And we also know the old value of y and the new value of y, but that one tak penting dulu, because what I know now is the dy dx equals to negative 2x. And I can gantikan the origin, but after I differentiate, I should ganti with the original value, which is p. So you end up with negative 2p. And we have to know this formula, dy dx almost equals to delta y over delta x. And dy dx is negative 2p. And delta x, I just found it, it's k. And then delta y will be pindah become darab lah. So it will be delta y equals to negative 2 pk ataupun kp lah. Like this. But the soalan never asked for that. The soalan asked for approximate value of q. But if you look carefully, q is the new value of y. And in order to find the new value of y, I need to take the original value ataupun the old value of y tambah dengan delta y. That's the step. Okay. So what you have to do to find the new value of y? So the new value of y is q. So q will be equals to old value of y. What's the old value of y? 1 minus p square. Okay. Because this is the old value of y plus if delta y, I found it already, negative 2 pk. Okay. I found it just now. Right. So now the answer will be q 1 minus p square minus 2 pk. Right. So they say in terms of p and k, right? So yeah, that's the answer. Okay. Okay, let's go to section B. But in section B, they will give you 3 questions, but you will only jawab dua soalan. It means you will only choose 2, but I will do all of it. So, okay, let's go. 13. Table 1 shows the monthly rental of a house. So these are all rental. So monthly rental. So for 1 month, you will pay this amount, this amount, this amount, this amount. But if you look at the period, it's not for 1 month. It's from January 2021 to December 2022. So how many months have passed here? Let's see, January, it's 2 years, right? Because January 2021, the next year will be January 2022, but it's until December 2022. So it's like 24 months, actually. This is the period for 24 months. Ataupun 2 years lah, okay? But this is for 1 month, okay? So if I want to know 1 month, pay how much? It will be 660 times 24. If I want to know for like the whole period. Okay, so let's read here. Rizky rents the house with monthly rental of 660 on 1 January 2021. So 1 January 2021, he will pay 660 every month. Okay, and then it will only naik harga after 2 years, after 24 months, then it will naik harga. And then they say the house owner will increase his monthly rental on a regular basis every 2 years. Okay, understand. I think I understand already. So it means that the monthly rental starts with 660 and then go up to 710 after 2 years, and then 760 and so on. So this will form an arithmetic progression because the A is 660 and you can see here plus 50, plus 50, plus 50, right? So the D is 50. Okay. So A, what they want? Determine whether the monthly rental form an arithmetic progression or geometric progression. Verify your answer with calculation. Okay, I already mentioned it's arithmetic, right? But they want us to show them, to prove to them. So how can we show them? Okay, we can do this T2 minus T1, and then we do T3 minus T2. Okay, that's how we show. So T2 minus T1 will be what? 710 minus 660, which is 50. And then T3 minus T2, 760 minus 710, which is also 50. Can you see they give us same value? So now we can say what? Since 760 minus 710 is equals to 710 minus 660, comma, the monthly rental form an arithmetic progression. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I'm just copying how they ask, because they say determine whether the monthly rental form arithmetic progression or geometric. So yes lah, because the T2 minus T1 is same with T3 minus T2. So the monthly rental form an arithmetic progression. Okay. I just follow what they went here. Yeah. So only for 2 marks. Ayo, my handwriting is so ugly. Okay, let's do this. Then okay, never mind. Okay, I think I'll just leave it like this. Okay, I think it's fine. Okay, let's go to B. B, they say when will the monthly rental exceed 1350 for the first time? Okay, I think B is I'll just do it here lah. So when will the monthly rental exceed? So TN exceed bigger 1350, because now the monthly rental is 600, 700, 700, 800. So when will the monthly rental exceed 1350? So use this progression lah. So we all know the TN formula is A plus N minus 1D. The A is 660 and then the D is 50. 660, 50. So A is 660 plus N minus 1 and the D is 50, bigger than 1350. So I can find the N now. So the N will be what? 660 plus 50n minus 50 bigger than 1350, 50n bigger than 1350 plus 50 minus 660, 740. Divide 50. So n is 14.8. So n must be bigger than 14.8. So n must be 15 lah. The reason why I cannot write 14 is because they are asking when will the rent exceed for the first time. Means when the n is 14, the rental still haven't exceed 1350 yet. But when the n is 15, baru they exceed, because the answer is 14.8, right? Okay, but the soalan asked for what? Let's read carefully. They asked when will the monthly rental exceed. So when, I cannot just stop here. I cannot just write this. I have to write in the date for them, because the date is like that, the period. So I should write it like this also. So the n I got is 15, right? So let's think about this. This is my T1, my T2, my T3, my T4. So when it's T1, the year is 2021. When it's T2, the year is 2023. When it's T3, the year is 2025. When it's T4, it's 2027. So we can form another progression here using a year. It means A is equals to 2021 and the D is 2. Because every time you add 2 years, add 2 years. So now I want to know after 15 years, right? So what I will do is find the T15. So the T15 will be A plus n minus 1D. So 2021 plus n minus 1, which is 14 times D. And then I will get what? Let's see, 2021 plus 14 times 2. So I will get 2049. It means if I keep going until T15, it will be January 2049. It will be January 2049. Okay. So let's come back down here and write the answer. January 2049 until December 2050. Okay. Means the period where the, how to say, wait, how they ask, when will the monthly rental exceed 1350 for the first time? Means from this onwards lah. So I don't have to write this. Yeah, means from this onwards, then the monthly rental from this point onwards, all is already, yeah, already exceed this value. Okay, let's go to C. So C question, also 3 marks. Okay, let's do here. Calculate the total rental paid to the house owner for the year 2028 to 2056. So they want the total rental paid if you are a person living from 2028 to 2056. So let's scroll up. So if you want to rent the house and you stay there in 2028, starting from 2028, it means you start to stay somewhere here, right? 2028. But if you look at 2028, it's somewhere in the middle. It means you will not pay 810. You will pay 810 times with 12. The reason is because if you are staying from January 2028 until December 2028, you are only staying for 12 months. That's why you don't have the times 24, just times 12, right? But then you stay until when? You stay until 2056. Walao, you stay until 2056 means, wow, many years lah you stay. So you stay until T berapa sebenarnya. So same thing lah, we use this progression, right? So if you want to know 20, what is now? 2056. So it means how many terms? So what I will do is, okay, let's remember this 21, 23, 25. So 2021, 2023, 2025, and I want to know how many terms until it reached 2056, right? So A is 2021, the D is 2, and then the Tn is equals to 2056, and then A plus n minus 1D, so plus n minus 1, D is 2 equals to 2056. Now I will find n. I will press 2056 minus 2021, and then answer divide 2, and then answer plus 1. So I get 18.5. It means what? It means, wait, it doesn't make sense. Oh, I think I know already, because, oh, yeah. Because do you remember that the 2028 is half half of this, right? It means I can actually assume that this is the T18 lah. Betul tak? Because this is T1, right? So T2, T3, T4. So the 2056 is the 18th year. Betul lah? 1, 3, 5. Or we can also think about it this way. Okay, I think I know what's the problem here. Okay, I'll explain it using other way. Because if you look carefully here, the starting is January 21. Okay, January 21 until December 22, right? And then followed by January 23 until December 24, 2024. And then January 25, December 26. So if you want to know until 2056, it means I'm asking until December 56 lah. So this will be the T1, this will be T2, T3. So until T berapa, Tn baru dia sampai sini kan. But we should know that the December 56 means I have to subtract, then it will become January, what is it? 21, 23, 25. If you look here, it's like -1, right? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. Means this should be 55, right? Because this is December 2056, so this should be January 55. So the correct way is actually Tn equals to 2055. Then your working will be better already. So it must be like this, 2055, and then this will be 2055, and then now I can get my n. Let's press 2055 minus 2021 equals answer divide 2 and then plus 1. So now it makes sense. N is 18. It means the 18th term, if I keep going now, if I go until T18, it will be January. Let's write nicely. It will be January. So if I keep going, it will be until T15, then it will be January 55, 2055 until December 2056, right? And he stay until 2056, right? Can you see? Calculate total random period, stay until December 2056. It means he stay until T18. I read 15, sorry. So until T18. So now I think I know how to do already. Means I will find the S18 minus the S, because they want to total rent paid by the order, right? So what you do is you take the sum of the 18 term, first 18 term, minus with the sum of how many term? Sum of 18 term minus with sum of, because he stay 2028, right? So how? Because 2028 is halfway here. So I have to minus with, okay, let's minus with S4 first lah. And then this one we calculate separately later. Because this one he stay halfway, right? So I think I will take S18 minus S4 first. Okay. Okay, let's do this first. But this is not the final answer yet, because once you minus, you still have to plus with the 12 months here, right? So how to get S18? N over 2, so 18 over 2, and then 2a plus n minus 1d. That's the formula. N over 2, 2a plus n minus 1d. So the a is, okay, the a is not this. It's not 2021. Because that's the year. The a must be 660. 660, and then plus n minus 1, which is 17 times with the d. The d is 50, right? But let's think about this carefully, because if I take S18, I'm just taking 660 plus 710 plus this one, right? But I still have to times with 24, because he's staying, this is for only 1 month. So I think I have to times with 24 here actually. Okay, it means that the proper way is actually 24 times with S18 minus 24 times with S4. Okay, so now I have minus with 24 times with n over 2, which is 4 over 2, and then big bracket. Okay, not enough space already. What should I do? My God. Okay, maybe I'll do like this. Okay, I'll just write in the next baris lah. So minus S4, which is 24 times 4 over 2, big bracket, 2a. A is 660 plus n minus 1, which is 3d, like this, right? And then I will end up with, here potong-potong is 9, right? So 24 times 9, and then open bracket, 2 times 660 plus 17 times 50. Press the whole thing, you get 468720 minus with, this one can cut, left with 2, 24 times 2, open bracket, 2 times 660 plus 3 times 50, close bracket, 70560. So let me explain again why I have to times 24. Because if you take S4, you are just taking this one plus this one plus this one plus this one, which is the monthly rent. But but this is only for 1 month. And T1 is for 2 years. That is why you have to times 24. But of course, this is not the answer. You still have to plus with what? Do you remember I said just now you have to plus with the 12 months he stay in between here. So it means that 810 times 6. It means actually this is not complete. I still have to plus with 810 times 6 plus with 8. Not plus here lah. You will plus here actually. But since I don't have space here already, I'll just write down a bit here. 810 times 6. And then plus with, and then I will press 810 times 6. And then I will get 4860. And then hopefully, if I press all of this, I get answer 468720 minus 70560 plus answer. 468720 minus 70560 plus 4860. 403020. Okay, did I do it correctly? Let's see. 468720. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. 24 times 2. Open bracket, 2 times 660 plus 3 times 50. 468720 minus answer plus 4860. Okay, wait. Okay, so the schema is different. So where did I do wrong here? So wait for me. Okay, let me just check for a while. Okay. Okay, like that. Okay, wait. Tunggu saya. Okay. Okay. 70560. Oh, okay. It's not 810 times 6. Sorry. Because I just said that times 12, right? Because he stay for 1 year only. So it's not okay. I know where I did wrong already. It's 810 times 12. Yeah. Because it's because he starting from 2028, right? It means that he start from January 2028. So from January 2028 to December 2028, he only stay for 1 year. And 1 year is 12 months. That's why times 12. But I go and times 6. That's why. So this one is times 12. This one is times 12 times 12. And this will be different. This will be different. Okay. So times 12. Okay, let's correct it. What's 810 times 12? 9720. And then now it will be this one minus this one. Sorry. Minus this one and minus plus. Okay, hopefully this time I get the same answer. 84 minus 70560 plus answer 407880. So RM 407880. Okay, yeah, this is the correct answer. Okay, hopefully. So sorry, I made a careless mistake just now. This one times 6. Okay, all right. So I even mentioned earlier just now, like when I read the question, I even mentioned this one have times 12 later, and then I proceed to what's salah. Okay, but this is the correct method lah. Okay, let's go to question 14. All right, diagram 7 shows the curve. It is intersecting this curve. So we have two curve here at the points O and B. So O is here, B is here. Okay, and then number 1, find the coordinates of point B. I think you can do simultaneous. Just take these two equations, do simultaneous. So A question 1, since they are both x equals already, just take y power 3 equals to y power 2. And then what you do is you will pindah this times jadi bahagi y power 2. But some students, they will make this mistake. They will write 0 here. Okay, wrong. Why cannot write 0? Okay, let me ask you. If y power 2 I pindah jadi times, right? What is 0 times y power 2? Dapat balik tak yang ni? Tak dapat kan? That's why it's wrong if you put 0. You must put 1. Let's try. Y power 2 if you pindah here. 1 times y power 2. Dapat balik tak atas ni? Dapat balik kan? So then it should be 1. And then what's y power 3 divided by power 2? Y power 1. Because if it base same, divide the power with minus. So y power 1 is 1 means y is equals to 1. So I already know the y coordinate is 1. How to get the x coordinate? Ganti masuk into one of this equation. Let's say I ganti into the second one. So x equals to y square. So 1 square is still 1. So the coordinate of b is 1, 1. Okay, so B is 1, 1. That's the answer. Soalan number 2, area of shaded region. You need to know something. When you are doing integration punya soalan and you are finding area, you can choose which axis to use. You can choose which axis to use. But if it's volume, then you cannot choose. Okay, so for this question, will you choose the x-axis or the y-axis? Okay, I will tell you straight away. I will use the y-axis because the equation is x equals x equals. If I use the y-axis, then it will be dy, this will be x. But if you use the x-axis, then this will be dx, this will be y. Because whatever axis you use, it will depend. This will depend on what axis you use, right? If you use x-axis, you write dx. If you use y-axis, you write dy. And if you look at this question, actually, if you use both axes, any axis also, you can get the answer. But I will try to save my, how to say? I will try to plan ahead and see the equation. Since it's x equals, so I think I will use the y-axis. Means here will be dy, here will be x. And one more thing, if you notice that this shaded region is a floating shaded region. Why I call it floating is because this shaded region doesn't stick at the x-axis and it doesn't stick at the y-axis. It's like floating. And now we are using y-axis to do. I already decided using y-axis. And it's definitely not sticking on the y-axis. It's like, okay, separate from the y-axis. So what I have to do is I have to take something minus something, ataupun something plus something. So what I will do is I will integrate the first curve, which is the one down here, okay, because this covers a bigger area, minus with this curve, okay, this curve. So what I will do is I will integrate x dy minus integrate x dy again. But for my first curve, for my first one, I will integrate from 1 to 0 and it will be the y square curve. Because I'm using this axis. So because this covers a larger area, right? X equals y square. And then minus with integrate 1, 0 also, but then it will be y power 3 dy. And then I will just integrate y power 2, integrate is y power 3 over 3, 1, 0, integrate y power 3 is just y power 4 over 4, and then 1, 0. Gantikan 1 is 1 over 3 minus 0, done. And then ganti 1 is 1 over 4 minus 0, okay? And then let's put it bracket lah, okay? So you're left with 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4. The answer is 1 over 12, okay? So that's the answer. Okay, let's go to question B. Question B says what? Question B says calculate, okay, I think I should look at the diagram. Calculate the volume generated in terms of pi when the region bounded by curve. Oh, this one I need to erase. So let's erase right nicely. So, okay, calculate volume generated when the region bounded. Bounded means surrounded. Surrounded by who? Curve. Okay, which curve? X equals y square. So let's use the red marker. Okay, x equals y square. Which one? Okay, so it is referring to this curve. And then what else? Straight line y equals negative x plus 2. Okay, this one later lah, because I don't know yet. And the y-axis. So this one is the y-axis. So surrounded by this curve and the straight line. But the straight line, I still don't know where is it because I haven't drawn it yet. And it's not draw for me. So let's draw it myself. Y equals negative x plus 2. Let's try to find 2 points. Ganti x0, ganti y0. So when I ganti x0 is 0, 2. So 0, 2 maybe lebih kurang like maybe here, maybe this is 0, 2. And then let's ganti y0 pula. So if I ganti y0, it will be 0 equals negative x plus 2 and then x equals to 2. So 2, 0. So 2, 0 lebih kurang mana? Lebih kurang sini kan? But I want to know whether it will passes through the point B or not. Because I think that will affect my working, right? So why not we change other point? We don't use the 2, 0 point. Let's try to use when x equals to 1. Because I want to see when x equals to 1, where the curve touch, right? So when x equals to 1, y equals to negative 1 plus 2. Then you will get 1. So rupa-rupanya, when x equals to 1, y is also equals to 1. Means this straight line will passes through this point, the point B. It means if I draw a line, it will look like this. Okay, so the line that I just draw now, this is the negative x plus 2 line, right? So now I think I can highlight this line also. Okay, and now if you read again the soalan, now we know which volume they want. So volume when the region bounded by what? By curve, straight line, y-axis is revolve about y-axis. So for volume, we cannot choose which axis. Okay, so curve, y-axis, and straight line. But region bounded is here. So the region bounded is this part, right? This part. And since they already say revolve through y-axis, it means we can't choose. We can't choose which axis to use. We can only choose when it's a volume area question. For volume, we cannot choose. So definitely it's using this formula. Integrate dy, and it will be pi x squared because that's the volume formula. But if you look carefully, even though this shaded region is sticking on the y-axis, we cannot do it in single integration. We have to separate 2 times. Integrate 2 to 1 and then integrate 1 to 0. Because if you look at carefully, this part is for the straight line tarik punya. And then this part is for the curve tarik punya. That's why I cannot terus integrate 2, 0, the whole thing cannot. Because this part is for straight line. That is why I have to separate 2 times. So what I will do is I will integrate 2, okay, sorry, integrate 2, 1, 2 to 1, pi x squared divide, plus with integrate 1 to 0, and then pi x squared divide again. And this one, the depan punya, the 2, 1 punya is for straight line punya equation. And then belakang is for curve punya. Alright, so this is for straight line. So it will be pi can letak depan, 2, 1, and then the x square I have to ganti with straight line equation, not curve equation. If you ganti curve, it will be the wrong one. It has to be the straight line equation. So how to find x from my straight line? So I can pindah the negative x to the other side. So it will be x equals to y pindah sana jadi 2 minus y. So my x is 2 minus y. It means that it will be 2 minus y. But I have to power 2 lah because it's this one, right? And then because they have to square it, and then plus with integrate 1, 0, pi can also letak depan, but this x square is for curve because this is from 1 to 0. So from 1 to 0, the curve equation is y square. So x equals to y square. So I don't have to pin out, it's just y square. But since this is x power 2, means I have to power 2 again like this, right? So I don't think I need to look at the diagram anymore. I'll just do this, then I'll get the answer. Okay, so how do you integrate this? Pi. Okay, since this is power 2, right? It means I have to expand first, but it's okay. You can use the other method also. The other method is just terus integrate. Just take 2 minus y power 3 over 3. But if you have to be careful because you have to differentiate inside bracket sekali. Differentiate 2 is 0, differentiate negative y is negative 1. And then tutup bracket 2, 1. And then continue with pi, integrate. Okay, I know you want to ganti masuk, but don't ganti first. 3 times negative 1 is negative 3. And then 2 minus y power 3, and then to the bracket 2, 1. And then now I will ganti 2 inside first. So what happens when I ganti 2? 2 minus 2, 0, 0 power 3, 0, 0, then 0. So you will end up with a 0. Minus, now I have to ganti 1. So 2 minus 1, 1. 1 power 3, 1 also. 1 over negative 3 is negative 1 over 3. So done. This is so you will end up with 1 over 3 pi lah. But of course, this is not your answer. You still have to plus with what? With this one, right? But this one, if you want to integrate, you will make the 2 power y power 2 power 2 is y power 4, and then only it will continue by integrating y power 4, which is y power 5 over 5, and then 1, 0. And then now you will take right pi and then ganti 1 inside. What happens when you ganti 1 inside? 1 power 5 is 1, so 1 over 5. And then minus with ganti 0. Okay, but 0 power 5, 0, 0 divided by 0, 0, 0. Okay? So you just plus with 1 over 5 pi. So the answer will be 1 over 3 plus 1 over 5, which is 8 over 15 pi. But it's units cubed lah because it's volume, right? So that's how you do it. But I do want to mention another method of doing this. Because if you look carefully, when you integrate the straight line, when it revolve, revolve 360 degrees above y-axis, you will get a cone. So you can use the cone formula also. The cone formula volume is 1 over 3 pi r square h. So instead of using the integration method, you can use the volume of cone also. Okay. Betul also lah. But since I already use it, I'll just leave it here. Okay. I'll just leave it at for this working like that. Okay. So let me check with the schema jawapan quickly and see I do it correctly or not. 8 over 15, 1 over 12. Yeah, correct. Oh, finally we are at the last question. Wow, I think I spent a long time talking about this paper already. Okay, let's go it. Let's do it. 15. Diagram 8 shows a rectangular wall surface PQSV. Let's see, PQSV, okay. And then they give you some length here. All right, let's see. Bawa. Anas wanted to mark a point A so that the wall fan could be installed at that position accurately. Where is point A? Oh, this one. So you want to install the fan here. The switch of the fan is located at point R. So I should write here, R is the switch. This is the switch. And then it says, he had made measurements using two straight strings. Okay, use strings to make measurement, PT and QU. So PT is a string, and this is also a string. Okay, string. And then they say use R as the origin. Oh, this is super helpful, because if I can make R origin, wow, then that is very helpful for me. Okay, so let's put a x-axis and let's put a y-axis also. So this is the origin. So we all know origin, the coordinate was 0, 0, right? So let's put it nicely. Okay, maybe go a bit like this. Yeah. Okay, so this is the y-axis, and this is the x-axis, and this is the 0, 0. Okay, it means that a lot of coordinate I know already. For example, this coordinate, I know this coordinate is 0, 1, because they mentioned this is 0.5 meter, and here also 0.5. So 0.5 is 0, 1. And we also know this point, right? Because it's 0 turun berapa? Turun, oh, actually I don't know, but it's fine. What about this point? Can I find this point? Yes, because this is 4 meter, right? And if you look here, this is 1 meter, this is 2 meter. So what is 2 plus 1? It's 3 meter, right? But 3 meter, nak cukupkan 4 meter, I still need 1 meter here. Means this is 1 meter. Means this is negative 1, 0. Okay, and this will be don't know. Okay, the y coordinate I know is 1, but the x coordinate don't know. And then what about this u? X coordinate don't know, but the y coordinate is 1. What about the v? Okay, this one is to the left, negative 4. So this is negative 4 actually, right? Because I already know 4 meters. So this point I know, negative 4, 1. This is negative 4, 1. And then what about this point? Do I know this point? Negative 4. Okay, what is here? Okay, we all know this is 1 meter, right? And the whole thing is 3 meter. It means from here to here is actually turun 2 meter, right? It means this is 0, 2. Okay, sorry. Okay, so actually this is 0, negative 2. 0, negative 2. 0, negative 2. Because turun 2, right? How I know turun 2? Because the whole thing turun 3, and here I already know it's turun 1. So, yep. And then what? So this point also I tahu lah, which is negative 4, negative 2. Okay. What else? I think that's all right. Point A, tahu ke point A? Don't know. I only know the y coordinate for point A is 0.5. So far I think that's all I know, right? Okay, let's write nicely. So x coordinate tak tahu, but the y coordinate is 1. So, right? Okay, I know I talked for a long time already, but it's important. It's important because I takut nanti I buat and then I tak cukup information. So let's now I think I can start already. So soalan A kata apa? State the coordinate of point A. Point A punya coordinate how to find? So the y coordinate is 0.5, but the x coordinate how to find? How to get here? Let's see. Oh, they did mention the jarak here and here is 1 meter, right? So if this is negative 4, then this must be negative 3. So this must be negative 3, right? So negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, because they says 2 meter. Yeah, makes sense. So coordinate of A is negative 3, 0.5. So 1 marks, I think, yeah, that's the answer, right? So let's continue with the next question. So next question says what? The next question B says, let's scroll. Find the distance in meter of VU and UT so that the two straight strings intersect at point A. Hence state the ratio. Okay, they asked too much stuff already. They first asked for distance of VU and UT, and then they asked for ratio for VU, UT. So first, let's find the distance first lah. VU and UT punya jarak. So let's see, where is it? Distance of VU, which is here, and then UT, which is here. But in order to find this distance, you need to know the coordinate here first. If you don't know this x coordinate, you cannot find the distance between these 2 points. Okay, so definitely I cannot find the distance directly lah. I have to find this I need to know the coordinate of u and t, and I need to know the full coordinate. So how to do that? Let's see. If we can see that this point T is a point that passes through this line. Okay, the PA punya line. So ataupun PAT punya line. So what I can do is I can try to find the PAT punya equation and then ganti y equals to 1 lah. Because if I have this equation, I ganti y equals 1, then I can find this value already. Okay. So now how to find the equation? First I need gradient lah. Gradient and satu point yang passes through. So how to find the gradient? I need 2 points along the line. So I have 1, I have 2. So I think I can use gradient now. So y minus y, -2 minus 0.5, divide by -4 minus -3, which is -4 plus 3. So let's press this, what I get? -2 minus 0.5, and then divide -1. Okay, 5/2. So definitely the equation would be y equals to mx plus c, 5/2x plus c, plus the y-intercept. But the y-intercept don't know, right? But it's okay, you can pass us through separate. Anyone lah. Let's pass us through -4, -2 lah. Okay. So the y I will ganti -2, and then 5/2x, x I will ganti -4. Okay, let's erase this. This is annoying. So let's erase this and write beside here. Better. Okay, so macam mana tadi? 5/2x is -4 plus c. So what is c? Okay, 2 and 4 can cut. 5 times -2 is -10, pindah jadi +10. -2 plus 10 is -2, wait, 5 plus 10, -12, is it? Yeah, so the equation is y equals to 5/2x minus 12, because here is -10, right? -10 jadi +10. Okay, sorry, this is 8. Sorry, this is 8. My brain is tired already. Okay, so 5/2x plus 8. So this is the equation of the line PAT. But I want to find the x coordinate of point T. So now I think I can ganti y equals to 1 here. So it'll be 1 equals to 5/2x plus 8. And then try finding x. Plus 8 pindah jadi negative. So here will be -7 lah. So it'll be 5/2x. And then 1 minus 8 is -7. And then x equals to -14/5. So now I know my coordinate here is -14/5, right? So let's erase and write nicely. -14/5, 0. That is the, not 0, 1. -14/5, 1. So this is the T punya coordinate. Now how to find U punya coordinate? If I want to find U punya coordinate, I need equation of what line? I need the equation for UAQ punya garisan. Because if I have the garisan here, then I can ganti y equals to 1. Because U is a point that passes through the UAT line, UAQ line. So let's find the UAQ punya garisan punya equation. So first I need the gradient and satu point yang passes through. So do I have gradient? Don't have, but can find, right? Because I have this point and this point. So UAQ punya line. So what is the formula? Y minus y, x minus x. So -2 minus 0.5 bahagi 0 minus -3. So 0 plus 3. So it'll be, what is it? Let's press. -2 minus 0.5, answer divide 3. -5/6. So that's the gradient. It means y equals mx plus c. So -5/6x plus c. But the c, I don't have to find already. I have already, -2. So now I get my equation for UAQ. Now finally I can find the coordinate of U. How to find? Just ganti y equals to 1. The reason why you can ganti like this is because the point got passes through. That is why you can just ganti to get the x coordinate here. Okay. So what you get for the x, negative pindah jadi positive, 5/6x equals to plus 1 jadi -1, so -3. So x equals to -18/5. So finally I know my U coordinate, -18/5. So now I have my U and T coordinate. I think I can find what they want now, which is the distance of VU and distance of UT. Not enough space. Macam mana? Okay, why they give me so less space? So what should I do? I think I'll do it here lah. Okay. Yeah. So let's do it here lah. So working for B, So working for B, they want the distance of VU and distance for UT. So how to find the distance of VU? So if you look from here, Okay, let's kecilkan. Okay, if we look from here, the V coordinate is negative 4, 1, right? So the V coordinate is negative 4, 1. And then the U coordinate is negative 18, 1. Okay. And the T coordinate is, what is it? Negative 14 over 5, 1. And this one is 18 over 5, sorry. Okay, so if I want to find the distance of VU, I will just take negative 4 minus negative 18 over 5. And then I get the answer already. Because they are all on the same line. They are all on the same horizontal line. So if I want to find the distance here, which is the short distance here, what I have to do is just take negative 4 minus with negative 18 over 5. Okay? I don't even have to bother with the 1 because they are all on the same line. That's why I can do that. So let's press negative 4 plus 18 over 5. Okay, I got negative 2 over 5. Negative 2 over 5. And then what about here? UT. So I will just take, let's look at the diagram. I will just take U punya coordinate, X coordinate, negative 18 over 5 minus negative 14 over 5. Then can. So because they are all on the same line, that's why I can do like that. Negative 18 over 5 minus bracket negative 14 over 5. So minus minus jadi plus, right? So negative 18 over 5 plus with 14 over 5. So I get negative 4 over 5. Okay, now finally I can answer the next part of the question, which is state the ratio of VU ratio UT. So how to find VU ratio UT? But we know VU is negative 2 over 5, right? So negative 2 over 5 ratio negative 4 over 5. But ratio is like fraction, means I can hilangkan the negative. Just hilangkan, just left with 2 over 5 ratio 4 over 5. And you can also times 5 times 5 just to hilangkan fraction. So you left with 2 ratio 4. And then you can both sides divide 2. So end up with 1 ratio 2. Okay. So this is VU ratio UT, VU ratio UT, VU ratio UT. And this one you can erase also can, doesn't matter. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, finally we are at the last part of the MRSM paper. Okay, so tired. My hand hurts so much. Okay, see, Anas wants to hang a picture frame at point B as in the diagram. So where is B? Oh, it's not here. Oh, here. Yeah, found it already. So point B, yeah, this one. And then it says what? He used a straight string PB to make the measurement. So PB to PB. So definitely as a new line P to B. So this is a new string, a new string. And then it says show that the straight string is not perpendicular to the straight line QU. If you want to show that they are not perpendicular, then you show by using gradient lah. You try to find the gradient of QU and then find the gradient of QU and find the gradient of PB. That's what you need. Okay, but the gradient of QU, I don't think you need to find already because QU punya gradient you find already. Negative 506. So gradient of QU, negative 506. Now I just need the gradient of PB. So how to find gradient of PB? I need 2 points, right? P and B. Let's find. P I have already. B, so y minus y, x minus x. Negative 2 minus 0. Negative 4 minus negative 1. So negative 2 minus 0 divide by negative 4 minus negative 1, which is negative 4 plus 1. And then I will end up with negative 2 over negative 3, which is 2 over 3. Did I do it correctly? Yes. So this is my gradient of PB. This is my gradient of QU. They want you to show that they are not perpendicular, right? So yeah, they are not perpendicular because if the gradient of PB is 2 over 3, then the gradient of the line that is perpendicular to him, it would be negative 3 over 2. Okay, because you terbalik and tukar tanda, right? But it's not even, this is 5 over 6 or negative 5 over 6. So we can say that since gradient of QU, okay, can also lah. You want to write like this also can, or you can say since negative 5 over 6 times with 2 over 3 is not equals to negative 1, they are not perpendicular. Okay, or you can also say since gradient of QU times with gradient of PB not equal negative 1, they are not perpendicular. So that's how you show them, right? So hope you understand, and yeah, that's all. Bye bye.